Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast. We'll be bringing raw and unfiltered energy for each movie and TV show that we will be reviewing. Just think of it as turning your movie group chat into a podcast. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jazz.
I am Jason. And man, per usual, I got some house rules I want to run through with you. So let's get started. One, we will be spoiling this review. So if you haven't seen it, you haven't watched it, please stop, go check it out, and then come listen to this review. Number two, please like, share, subscribe. Let your friends know, let your church members know, let your family know what we are doing over here at the Was It Good Though podcast. Number three, have fun. We just kicking shit, having fun with my friends. That's what we do. And last but not least, this is not a kid-friendly podcast. So if you're watching with your kids, that's something on you that has nothing to do with us. Let's get to this review.
Yes. Always wholesome.
Just have to make sure, Jason, please don't give him your bottle girl routine at the market,
No, it'll be kids out there, so we won't be doing any. They're gonna get the something like Daddy Jason, but not really, because these ain't my kids. So fuck these kids. So yeah,
we gotta make sure we bring that energy into the new year. Happy New Year, gentlemen. 2024.
Let's get it.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
They got picked up. Okay, we already starting off good. First episode.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But let's get this thing popping. 2024 first review of the year. We ending the world, going international. Just a what's this? A melting pot of things going on today. But yes, this is the Was It Good Though podcast, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen, back like we never left.
We never did.
We never left.
We don't take breaks.
We don't take breaks. We are committed to making sure you know what movies, what TV shows are good. I mean, that's what we're here for. And I am one of your hosts. I am Jason.
And I am Jazz. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for listening. And we are back with our international guest. We are back three times. Coming back up in here. JR, how you doing, my brother?
I'm blessed, Jason Jazz. Appreciate the invite as always. Slowly catching up on that record. Who is it? Crystal's got 6 times experiences. So I'm slowly catching up to that. Shout out to Crystal. Hope you're doing good. Yeah. As always.
Well, since you've been back, I mean, it's really 7 because she was in our this Christmas episode as well. So yeah, so she moving, but you moving too. So y'all, you moving the same, you moving along. But we had to bring you back, man. I think the first movie, because we was going international, it made sense. Second movie was one of your favorites. So
yes,
that also made sense. But this one, the division that I have seen from the Discord to my Facebook to the internet, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have some very good discourse this evening.
Yeah, the energy is gonna be high.
The energy is going to be high. Maybe it's high as the podcast, but we're gonna kick this. I'm gonna kick this over to my sister. She's gonna lead us this evening, and we're gonna follow behind her as we leave the world behind.
For sure.
For episode 82.
Yeah.
Episode 82.
This was definitely one that released recently on Netflix, and like you said, Jason, there was some discourse in our Discord. JR had his opinions and thoughts, and when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to bring him on, because when I watched it, I was like, there's some discussion that could be had. So I made sure to tell JR before this episode to keep that same energy. And we going, first guest of the year. So you setting the road, you setting the tone for everybody else. So stand on your hill.
Listen, I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah.
I got my feet firmly planted on this hill. I'm not budging. Maybe a little bit, but I'm staying where I am.
Okay.
A little bit, tiny, tiny bit.
It's called stand your ground over here in the US, sir. Stand it.
And in actually, nope, not going down that road.
Wait.
But yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. But yes, leave the world behind. I want to go to JR first with this opening scene. It starts off regular. You got a couple. Obviously, the husband was sleeping, and the wife is like, "Look, we're about to go on vacation," and she's just telling him, "I got all the stuff taken care of. I'm gonna go pack the kids up once they wake up and everything." And then, because Julia Roberts and Ethan Hawke are our couple, Amanda and Clay, I believe was Ethan Hawke's character. She's just discussing some things. What did you think about this scene? And then that line that she dropped before we get our title shot.
It was, I mean, first of all, shout out to Amanda for packing her man's bags. Like packing is one of the worst bits of getting ready for holiday, So she was like, listen, I'm gonna give you no reason to say no. I'm even gonna pack your bags. Listen, real work material, real MVP, salute. And then she's going on this monologue, and I'm thinking she's gonna drop some really insightful, introspective bar before the title screen. And the music's like building slowly and slowly and slowly, and then it stops. She looks at the camera. I fucking hate people. And it just caught me off guard. It's like, whoa, that was not where I was expecting it to go. But hey, we here now. Let's roll with it. Let's see where this movie takes us. But yeah, that was a swerve for sure.
Yeah, and I think Julia Roberts did a great job in this. And Jason, I know we're going to get to you and your passion and love for Julia. So we're going to get to that, because I'm sure you was excited about this. And we're going to see if you going to agree with a lot of her takes and activity through this movie. But I want to say, JR, I completely agree with you. I was not expecting her to say that, but I felt it because I say all the time, humans are trash. So I felt that bar. And then it just goes into the title card and you have Joey Badass song playing. And I'm not going to lie, I made sure to Shazam it. I was like, oh, I need that on my playlist for the gym because that whole song was fire. And I was like, okay, so where's this music going? They used a lot of music that I wasn't exactly sure, like the element in it. I was like, it was like, I was feeling the songs, but I was just like, okay. And I was definitely going to come to you, Jason, about the music since you are the music individual on this episode. And so they kind of break this movie down in different parts. And so the first part, we have the house. Families on their way to this home. You see it's a wife, husband, and they have a boy and a girl and kids. Jason, and I know that you have another interest in homes. When they walked into this house, when the family arrived, like, how did that make you feel being able to see like the design and everything and the layout?
Now this house is dope. Man, this entire house was plush from, uh and I mean we get more layers of it as the movie continues and as it progresses. But them just going into it, the nice backyard, the pool, the different rooms everybody can sleep in, the nice open kitchen. I'm on the same type of time that I keep on forgetting their names in the show, in the movie, but Ethan and Julia, I'm on the same type of time that was on. Like, we got 15 minutes. Shit, let's get this, let go. I'm on the same type of energy they on. I'm on vacation. I'm trying to let it hang loose. Now we got kids. You can't do it like that when you take the kids with you. So
Right.
I understood everything that they were on when they made it to this house. But yeah, it was bummed. Now they were kind of bummed out. They didn't have a liquor cabinet, but
Yeah.
outside of that, I mean, you can go to the store and get some. Technically,
right. And that's
at this
pretty
point,
much,
at least.
yeah. And that's exactly what she did. She was just like, I'm going to go ahead and run to the store, get some things. And during her run to the store, she sees a character. Wasn't sure who it was, but it's Kevin Bacon, Mr. Bacon. And he's stocking up. Now, this movie made me quite paranoid more than I already am. Because trust me, does Jazz have a kit of like preparations of what she needs just in case if shit goes left? Yes, I do. But she sees him stocking up and everything. She's not thinking nothing of it. They make eye contact and she continues putting her groceries in the car. And like Jason mentioned, she gave her husband some cigarettes and she was just like, "You on vacation? I know you do this, just don't let the kids see. I want you to enjoy yourself." Jason, you are the married individual on this episode. Do you think up until this point, Julia's character was showing like really good wife vibes? And out of 10, what would you give those?
10 for sure. I mean, she woke up
Okay.
super early, packed his suitcase. She didn't have to, but she did. And then she knows that he likes to smoke every now and again. Let him indulge for a little bit. We're on vacation, we're having a weekend away. No harm, as long as the kids don't see it, it's no problem. That's cool. That's cool. She's ticking all the right boxes for me. I got no problems with that. So yeah, 10 out of 10.
Okay. You upped it as you was explaining it. It was first 9 out of 10, but then at the end you was like, you know what, I gotta give her all 10. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But Jason, I want to go to you. If you was talking to a bae and she was, she done packed your bag, she's like, "Look, I already got a deposit for the Airbnb, and y'all get there, and it's a kid friendly, so you can." Jason, she took care of it because and she got the kids too. So it's like, look, kid friendly, like, and this is base status, not wife. Well, JR be using my girl this, like, I'm giving you shit. 2024, baby, we keeping
She's
the
gonna hear
energy
this at
high.
some point.
Look. Well, okay. So before I answer my question, look.
Okay.
Like I said, so like I said, I think we've used wifey. I feel like wifey was like a 90s word. They even had music about his songs and stuff. You are my wife. And you know what I'm saying? So, people oftentimes like terms of endearment. You got bae. That's my girl, I know you don't like my girl, but I understand the thought process behind my girl. It's a kind of childish, kind of young, whoop, whoop, whatever. You got my woman. Because she's grown. She's an adult. She handling her business. Whoop whoop. You got my wife. You got the ring. She has the ring. This is my person. But you got me. This my bitch. Because that's just what I'm into. Like that's just how I'm feeling at times. It's no disrespect to anybody. And if that's not what you into, I get it. I'm just saying what I'm into. But for me, you had a question look like what you was going to say?
I was gonna say, like, is it wild for me? Like, I would want him to be like, he called me his boss. Like, that's my boss. And I want him to say it like John Coffey said. So I'll just be like, come over here. Yes, boss. That's wild. And if he's never seen 8 Mile, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna make sure he
What
watches
kind
it.
of,
Yeah, it was crazy.
that'll be a crazy house to come into. You gotta ask the boss. I'm like, what? Maybe I'll get your ass out here.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
And he's just gonna
But
be like, nah, bro, like my boss, you gotta ask her. Like, who is that, nigga? You not at
I
work.
I refuse. I won't
Yeah.
call my boss at work my boss. But
Look, he that's what he gotta do.
but for me, a woman handling all that is the woman for me. Because in that situation, so it's like those are things that I feel like if a woman has dated me, has been with me, they've experienced these things. So for the shoe to literally be on the other foot and a woman to take care of me in that way, ah, yes, chef's kiss to her because that's a 10 out of 10. I'm down. I'm all the way down.
Just playing the Usher song, Trading
Trading
Places.
places, yes, and she can have my draws. Now come over.
I yo.
I knew it was
So
coming. I knew it was coming.
it don't take long. So they get that 15-minute quickie in, and then they get to the beach.
15 minutes. 15 minutes really quick.
I, yeah. It
15 minutes.
depends what's going on.
So okay, so
Oh, so we're
15.
going.
So I'm not gonna stay too long because y'all know how I will go on a tangent for a while. But
It
this is
won't be
why I
longer
say
than 15 minutes.
it's because think about this, Jax. Would you if I told you to go run for 15 minutes, you doing it?
So I got this heart condition. So 15 minutes of running, nah, bruh. Nope. I got to think about
Okay.
my health. Now you say,
So you
Jazz, go do a speed walk for 15? Hell yeah.
So let me ask you this. You probably not gonna answer.
Yeah, I already know where this is
You're about to
going.
let it fly.
Look,
Brace yourself.
2024, the
Brace
energy.
yourself.
Okay, so 15 minutes. You gonna stay in a squatting position,
Is there a
holding your
headboard?
you holding your ankles.
Is there
You don't get to touch the headboard. You only can hold your ankles in a squatting position for 15 minutes, bouncing. You riding.
I mean, that's what is it. I mean, that's riding. Like
Don't be funny. Are you still rolling with these 15
fit
minutes? Is
and
not
no break or nothing.
no break. You 15 minutes.
But see that heart condition I just told you about. Like, how did you forget, JR? How did he forget so fast?
15. It don't.
Yeah.
It should be this.
Hey,
It ain't the same.
I don't know when it's gonna kick in, Jason.
Because
I just know.
Because I'm just saying in 15 minutes, I could do like 30 positions in 15 minutes. Like
30.
30
So that
positions.
means you divide
Hey,
like
don't do the math on that. Don't do the math on that.
you
Don't
give
do the
each
math on that.
position 30 seconds.
I didn't say that. I
Nah,
just
that's not a
said
long time.
But please don't start him. Don't
Okay, okay.
start him.
All right.
He'll
All
give
right.
us a breakdown. I don't think I'm ready for it.
And then it'll
Nah.
be 15 minutes, and I'll just be like, all right, we already got
back
this
to
long
you.
movie.
But back to you.
But so we get to the beach. And so this beach scene was very intense.
Bruh.
And I don't remember watching the trailer to this movie prior to seeing it. So I wasn't exactly sure where it was going to go. I just knew isolation and somebody did something. So I'm just like, I don't know if the government had anything to do with it or aliens. So I was pretty much on both sides of that. But we get to the beach, the kids are walking around, and obviously the beach has a lot of trash. And I think this scene was very important to show, maybe saying Americans don't take care of their beaches. Like, we'll sit up here try to recycle shit, and then you go to tourist places like the beach, and it's just trash everywhere to where we don't take care of our own, which this movie hinted at that a lot. And so you got Rose, the youngest daughter. She's looking at this ship that's like miles away. It just grabs her attention. Her brother Archie, he being a creep, but he's being a teenage boy. I'm like, if you staring that hard, Archie, you should say something, because he about broke his neck. But JR, when we're at the beach scene with the family, and then we see the boat come to shore, like, what were your thoughts during this entire scene?
This is where my beef with Rose started. Okay. This is how I knew I'm gonna hate this little girl. She's gonna annoy me like that little boy in Extraction 2. Okay. Now, just hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Listen, they're at the beach for, I want to say, a couple of hours. They're not going to be there for less than an hour. They're going to be there for a couple of hours, right? Clay's catching some Z's. Amanda's reading their book. Archie is perving or whatever on his phone. Rose is fixated on this boat. And I am sure she's been staring at this boat for the whole time. And she's seeing it get closer and closer and closer. And nothing in that pea-shaped head of hers, or that pea-sized brain of hers, makes her think, hey, maybe I should wake up my family and tell them that this boat is getting closer, because that is not normal. That's not safe, right? And even when her mother wakes up, she doesn't say anything to her. It takes Amanda asking her, hey, Rose, are you okay, sweetie? I think that boat's getting closer. And she didn't even say it with any sense of urgency or panic in her voice. She said it calm as you like, as if it's something as normal as, oh, look, there's a wave. It crashed. It's going back out again. Normal, just normal. She said it like it's a normal everyday thing. Oh, this tanker is looking like it's going to collide onto the beach. No big deal. She said it so calm. And then it took a man that's looking at it. And I'm thinking, this girl has no sense of safety awareness. But then Clay wakes up and says, oh, it's gonna stop, isn't it? And then I realize, oh, she probably got it from him, because there's no way you're gonna see a boat coming that close. And the first thing you're gonna say, oh, it's gonna stop. It's definitely gonna stop, right? We're good.
So I will ask this, JR, from what we saw from Rose leading up to this, she didn't really seem too self-aware or she just seemed kind of off, because when they were in the car, she asked her dad, "Can you take me to the coffee shop that's in the movie, that's in the series Friends?" He said, "Honey, that's fake." So, and we start to see a lot of little breadcrumbs of Rose being on her own planet, but she also had a NASA shirt on. So she was just out of this world anyway. But she just didn't seem all there. So you hated her through the whole movie.
Basically. Like, come on. You almost got your. I thought to myself from that scene, oh, if this family ends up dying, she's gonna have something to do with it. Not intentionally, but just her blissful ignorance
Right.
to the environment around her. She's gonna miss something that could have stopped them from getting killed, and then it's lights out for all of them. That's what I thought was going to happen. From that moment, I just realized, oh, this is not someone you want on your team because she's not going to be watching your back.
Okay. JR hates Rose. All right. Jason, was there anything you wanted to add for this scene?
Not for the scene, but she is 13. So I do feel like a lot of that goes into the. I look at my daughter all the time, and it's just like, I think that's just a 13-year-old thing. It's just no awareness, no, there is none of that. So they just don't have it.
So that's something you can look forward to, JR, when you have kids. Once they get 13, drop them off at the fire station.
No, you can
But,
learn.
and so they're leaving. And I think that Clay talks to one of the security guys at the pool. He was just like asking like, what's going on? And he mentioned like this has happened in other locations. So you're already seeing like, okay, there might be some type of hacking system going on. I still was suspecting aliens, but I wasn't exactly sure. So family gets back to the house, the Wi-Fi and the TV are out. That's your second sign right there that something is going on. And I thought it was really interesting in this scene of when Julia Roberts was trying to pull up the computer to see if there was any more information on what actually happened. She looked at the kids and she was like, the kids are just behaving as if nothing happened. It's as if it was an episode from a sitcom. And I think that had to do with the younger generation. Attention span is so short. Something drastic like that can happen. And then like in 5 minutes, they're on to the next thing. Like, did y'all get that vibe from that, Jason?
To a certain extent, but as a kid, I dealt with a lot of traumatic things that I don't think a normal kid today would understand. I don't think they had anything I mean, but it's even though it happened, I kept moving. Like it didn't stop anything. Like I felt a way at that moment, but after the moment was done, I'm done with it. And
Right.
that was just me. But I'm not mad at what you're saying. In that, I feel like that's where Rose's character may have pissed JR at, pissed JR off at but I deal with it for real. So I understood that kid in that moment. And she just wanted to finish her show. That's all she wanted because that's the only thing that she had at that moment.
Right. Because then it's just like Archie kind of took it off the shoulder too, to where it's just like, okay, something drastic happened, but then it's like, all right, we're completely off that. So that just might be like a generational thing. Like younger kids don't see the importance of anything that's impactful like that. But as we gotten older, probably 25 to 30, we start to look at important stuff going on in the world. It's like, I should probably pay attention to that because that could affect me. But as a kid, you just don't look outside your own bubble because you like, I have parents that will take care of that kind of stuff. So it's just like I don't have to worry about that. Like Jason, excuse me, JR, did you get a sense of that during that scene, or is this just something I just wrote on? It ain't crossed nobody else's mind.
No, 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 that's definitely I would say you hit the nail on the head there. Usually your parents would be your first guard of defense, basically. Is if there's something that could possibly threaten your health or well-being, your parents are gonna like cut it off. So unless your parents say something, you're not gonna know. And also, they've got like a massive swimming pool in the back, you know. Listen, the rest of the world beyond the driveway could be on fire. They've got a pool in the back. They're good. They're gonna enjoy themselves and make the best out of a bad situation. But yeah, parents, they're gonna make sure that they are in a bubble. They're gonna make sure that they're okay. And if there is if there's stuff that's gonna distress them, unless it's absolutely necessary for them to be in the know, keep it from them. Let them go along their business.
What you got, JR or Jason?
September 11th. What was you doing, Jazz?
I was at school.
Did you cry? Or did
So
you go ahead? I'm gonna let you go ahead.
I didn't, but also I don't really express my emotions like that. So that's kind of hard for me. I don't cry about a lot of stuff.
August 26, 2011. Aaliyah died. Did you cry?
It was actually the 25th.
Dog it. I was close. I knew it was one of the 2 days. Did you cry?
I did cry when
It,
Aaliyah
it,
died.
it impacted you different. So that's where I feel like it's the stuff that you really familiar with or that you know, because I also cried when Aaliyah died. September 11th, I didn't understand, but they put, if they schools out early, parents have to come pick you up, all these different things. So I just feel like it just affects you a little bit differently as a kid when you look at current events versus, I guess, something that's in your bubble or circle, kind of like what JR said.
No, yeah, I'm not mad at that. No, that makes a lot of sense. And then we start to see deers pop up. We actually got like a parent deer that with their child deer. Do y'all think the deers represented GH and Ruth just in this instance? Or do you just think it was just our first time seeing two deers pop up because more will start to come because deers travel in pack?
Yeah, I just thought it was just too random deer just popping up with no possible meaning behind it. Just yeah, just two deer. Just how the deers got there specifically, I don't know. But yeah, I didn't think anything too much of it. They're in front of big forests. So of course there's gonna be some wildlife there. And the wildlife may have been, seeing all this activity in the building and thought, oh, what's going on over there? Let's check it out. So yeah, I didn't think there was anything more than surface level with the deers appearing.
I feel like there is symbolism with that. I'm not mad at the idea of the deer, the we can assume mama, baby, calf, whatever they call it. It's a baby deer, a calf, right? It's a calf, if
Look,
I'm not mistaken.
sure.
So whatever it is in that moment, I'm not mad at that, Jazz, because it's showing them popping up, and then not too far off from this, they show up.
Right.
So I'm not mad at that, but I'm also, I, as far as like JR said, they travel in packs. Um, but I like what Ruth said it. She feel like they're trying to tell them something. And I think you hear this with dogs when it's about to rain, it's about to storm, but you also hear this with people that's had injuries. They feel like they know when it's going to rain. They say it aches. I don't know what it is about that, but
Yeah. When the
you know,
weather temperature gets cold, like their arthritis acts up, they body bones and shit. I don't know. JR, they be saying that over there in the UK.
It's like, oh, I feel something, my back's twitching up, something. Wait. But then, sure enough, the rain falls or something. So there is some wacky science behind it. I can't explain it. I've never cared that much to deep dive, but
Right. I just go off of it because I've always been told like if your right hand itches, that means money is coming. And but you just can't scratch your hand. If you scratch it, then you're not getting that money. So if like your right hand starts itching, don't scratch it. You just gotta let it itch because you got money coming. And anytime I'm about to get paid, my my hand itches prior to that. So, but that just might be one of those black fairy or folk tales.
well, yeah,
So
wash your hands better.
it's one hand. It's both of them. Yo, fuck out of here, Jason. See, you bring me back to my 2023 jazz, and I'm trying to be a better person over here. But we get the father and daughter, GH and Ruth, at the door. Jason, how all of this unfolded. What were you expecting? Did you trust them? Would you have let them in? Let me ask that question first. Would you have let them in?
Hell no. I don't know these people. You got no identification. Nothing is happening at this point. So y'all need to go figure it out, little girl and man.
Okay. JR, would you have let them in?
I would have been cautious at the beginning, but once GH started saying, "Oh, I'm the guy that you've been emailing back and forth, I'm GH," and then he said, "Oh, we're debating whether to come by the front door or use the side door where the glass where you could see us and that kind of thing." He knows intimate details of the house that only the owner would know. There's no one else around, so it's not like, oh, it's a neighbor pretending to be him to gain access. So it would have taken a while, but I I would have let him. I would have let them in. I don't
Well,
think they would have driven all the way to that place to pull off a scam. It's quite remote, quite isolated. It's off the beaten path per se. So, if there were robbers, they're going through a lot of trouble to try to like steal from this house. So it would have taken a little convincing, but I feel in a couple of minutes I would have said, okay, you seem legit. I'll let you in.
see, you the type of person that Ruth was talking about in the bed. But
Oh,
hell no, I'm not. No, I don't know you. You need some more concrete evidence because anybody can. The stuff that they were saying, you can walk around the house and see any of that. You sending an email, you could have killed the person that was emailing me. I don't know. I need some identification. Like I need something. I need some more concrete stuff. Nah.
I'm not mad at that. Uh, I'm on the fence. I feel like if it was me, my husband, and our kids were asleep, I personally wouldn't have felt comfortable bringing them in, especially with the high level of paranoia that I already have. And I've seen all of those movies where somebody pretends to be the owner and there's some gold bricks somewhere in the basement that they didn't want to get to and where the family's staying there. Yeah, no. And they also don't seem like they had any kind of weapons either. But Amanda seemed more cautious than Clay. But we gonna get to them.
one hundred
wait, hold on.
percent.
Speaking of weapons, it was really funny when Amanda said to Clay, "Get a bat." And he's like, where am I gonna get a bat from? And also, she was the one that packed his suitcase, but she didn't pack a bat. So where is he expecting him to just make a bat appear out of nowhere? That was just really funny to me. If she packed a bat and said, hey, I left the bat in like the top drawer in the bedroom or something, understandable. But she didn't pack a bat. So where did she expect him to bring one from? That was just really funny to me.
Maybe in the car because it was their car. I would assume it was their car. So maybe out the car. I don't know if the car was in front of the house or in the garage, but maybe inside them. But
Or
I'm not
maybe
mad at
she,
you.
I'm not mad at that. I don't think she was probably just like, go get the bat that I packed. She was probably like, go find a weapon. And a
But
bat probably was the first thing that came to mind because it's just like somebody showing up this late at the house that we're at this week. Like, no.
But she was also racist, and she was giving my Bay vibes from what's the name of that movie? Damn, Traffic Conclusion, something, whatever that movie is, where Sandra Bullock is racist and she's prejudiced.
Crash?
Crash. That's it. I said
He said
Traffic.
traffic. Pollution. You were
um,
close. You was
So
close.
just like that movie, she was profiling people. So she seen somebody, and I'm not gonna lie, if I'm at the house, a house I haven't been at, I'm profiling everybody that comes to the house. And I'm automatically thinking you a killer. So no, you're not coming into my house. I'm out this secluded with my family, away from everybody, phones don't work. You's a killer. Off top.
It just seems like everything is lining up too good for you not to be the killer, which is why I'd be like, yeah, nah, I probably wouldn't let them in. But JR, good luck to you, my brother. I hope you have that back because your movie is going to end 20 minutes early because you decided to let them folks in. But, and I'm not going to lie, like, this movie did a very good job with like trying to make the viewer think that GH and Ruth were suspicious, or to me anyway, because I didn't really trust them in the beginning because obviously they were having conversations, not having too much context. And I'm like, so what are they talking about? They obviously know more than everybody else. So, like, what's happening? And then, like, when I did my rewatch, I was just like, oh, how the movie set it up, it was real perfect. But I was just like, they were just regular people, not trying to scare anybody. They didn't have any kind of suspicious intention or anything like that. They was just, we don't know, and
Who you
we don't want
referring
to.
to?
I'm talking about GH and Ruth, because it, like, from my first time watching it, and Jason, I know that you recently watched it for this review. Did you suspect them? Like, did you trust them off gate?
No, I didn't try.
Right.
I don't trust the white people neither though. But within that, GH was just too. He was moving suspicious.
Right.
I don't want to say. So you remember my gripe about Thanksgiving? Like it was just too many red herrings. So
That's what I'm saying.
I
That's,
felt like
yeah.
I do feel like they was pushing that too hard. Like they suspicious. So you just like,
You thought that in this?
I did. Every time it was like, I don't know. And then especially with Ruth, like Ruth was just like this much like she was I don't know her position in that. And I don't want to be like come off like it was like a caddy come off like caddy or pit women against each other, but like it was that's the energy I was getting, just like I'm the head bitch in charge, my mama not here, this our shit, like type situation. And it was just like the two strong women against each other with the dudes just like shit, we kicking it. We boys, we da
We
da da
drinking.
type. Yeah, we
Oh, he
just
made me a
shit.
fire ass drink. Honey, you want to try this? No, bitch. Like,
Like I don't
we
know what's
don't
in
know
that.
them.
Nigga, I just truck it.
Right. Like, did that cross your mind at all? Like,
It
when
did. You don't know what's in this drink. Yeah, always.
okay, JR, did you think that as well when he made that drink and he was like, I haven't touched anything yet, and then Clay took a sip of it?
It just seems really unnecessary for him to say, "Oh, I didn't touch it or anything." It's like, wait, why would you put that out there? Now that's if I'm Clay, now I'm thinking, okay, hold on. What's up here? That seems a little unnecessary. No one's gonna think, oh, this person tampered with my drink before they gave it to me. But
That's
then
not
Shit,
true. That's
that's
not
not
true
true.
though.
As a so in that moment, I do think a woman would probably. I think a woman would be more cautious in who they're receiving drinks from and where they get them
yeah,
from. So that's in my mind. But me personally, I just like to watch the person do it. So
yeah.
that's why I wouldn't take it. Anything when they come like so, um, you know, when you could just mention me doing any kind of recreationals. Let's say that. Anytime I do anything like that, I want people to watch me do it because I do want to be seen as a trustworthy person. But I have people in my family who's been given things that they haven't
Mm.
come back from. So it's just certain things like or certain moments like that. I'm super cautious like that, but I also just look at myself and I try to make sure everybody around me feels comfortable. It's not a thing of in doing that. And Jazz recently did that. When we visited her, when she made the drinks, it wasn't like, she made, hey, do you want one? You sure? Do you want she asked what kind of glass you want before she it's like it's the whole experience, it's the whole thing, but it's also making sure that person is comfortable with it. Like if you I do know people that's just like, fuck it, give it to me. Don't know the person. There's person to just smoke a blunt straight off your hand. We ain't never met. What kind of weird shit is that?
Because I know some folks do not wash their hands, so you got piss on your blunt.
Drinking off the same drink. It's just a whole bunch of like unnecessary wildness that I wouldn't be a part of. But
And it's funny people still do that, and like we don't live through a whole pandemic.
a
Like,
whole fuck the pandemic ain't even.
but nah, yeah. So let me ask y'all this: if y'all were on the other side of it, instead of being Clay or Amanda, if you were Ruth or GH, and you were leaving the city because it was a blackout, and you just like, well, shit, I got a house up in the mountains. Let me go up there. And I know it's people staying there that weekend. Like, would y'all have done the same thing if y'all were on the other side of that? Let me go to you first, JR.
Um, Probably not because you don't know the kind of people you're going to find there. You don't know if you're going to be able to reason with them. You don't know if they might be, Second Amendment crazy and say, hey, we're not leaving. We've got weapons. We will use them on you. You just don't know what you're walking into. So me personally, if I was in that situation, I'd say, hey, let's see if we can find a hotel for the night near the city, and then in the morning we'll head back up home and try to sort everything out.
I think it's funny that you said people that are Second Amendment and you do not live in the country. That's so sad. And everybody knows those damn Americans and they love their Second Amendment
Now the
rights.
guns.
They love their guns. But Jason, what about you?
I don't think it was a bad idea, personally. So you remember I told you I watched the TV show Linus. Is basically CIA operatives. They find a target, someone that's a terrorist, and they get a woman agent, and they put her next to somebody so they can get close to him and assassinate him. So there was this one guy, Nicole Kidman's husband. I don't know what he did, but he was very similar to GH. He just had like I think GH was probably like a stock market or a financer, a financial advisor, or something to that effect. That's what it sounded like. He watching numbers, imaginary numbers, moving imaginary things to make imaginary things work in the world. So same exact guy in that show. Like he knew things he wasn't supposed to know. So he was like, I know you're about to do something that's going to affect all the oil prices when you do this. So y'all need to not do this. You need to pull whoever you got out of that situation. So this is what they kind of reminded me of. Well, that's who GH reminded me of. So I feel like with him, his mind was thinking, okay, so if something is really happening, based on the conversation I had with that person I had, we need to get somewhere away from everything. I need to get to a secluded area. Because if I'm in an area with a lot of chaos, like, what's going to happen then? This also made me think of, which ironically he's in this movie, The Purge. That's what it made me think of the entire time. And as we get to the end of the movie, it kind of goes back into that. But yeah, no, I thought that was smart to go to a secluded area versus a. Cause imagine a blackout in New York City as opposed to a blackout somewhere like in a small southern, away from
Yeah.
everything.
You
It's not
definitely gonna
going.
have more chaos in like New York. Because I remember when they had the blackout. Well, I don't remember because I wasn't around, but the blackout they had, I think in the 80s, or I was like a kid, New York. So
Yeah.
no, that definitely makes a lot of sense. And so like they're pretty much talking, and you have Clay. He's a very positive individual. He's just like, he's not seeing any kind of negativity in people. Like he
Lopsy,
gives people the.
was it Lopsidicical? Is that the word? Is that how you say
I'm not
that?
sure.
But yeah, I know. Yeah, you
Right.
continue.
Like
Continue.
so he doesn't see like he's like, oh, you know what? He's not thinking anything negative. Obviously, Amanda is the opposite.
All
And
the way.
so I thought it was very interesting how when they were able to, Amanda was like, we're gonna go talk because y'all talking about staying here tonight. I don't know y'all. My kids are here. You saying this is your home. I don't really know if that's true or not because of all the reasons Jason mentioned of like you could have hacked somebody's computer that you might have killed and you just coming up here. So she's talking to Clay, and it's just like she's creating these very negative scenarios as to what could happen. She was like, he might be the butler and Ruth is the maid. Because obviously she's just like, wait, this y'all house? So this is that racism, Jason, that you mentioned. It's like, so they're the help. They can't own this house.
These niggas
This
can't own the house.
this nice house. Cause she said, wait, you're who? I remember the conversation, but I didn't think it was black. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, Jason, your bae kind of sold this movie.
Hey
But
man, that is literally 30 years that we've seen right there. 30 years of acting. Like Julia, that girl. Because I was
here we
like,
go.
I'm just saying, she.
Here we
Hey,
JR,
I'm
you
just
see this?
saying. I'm just saying. But my favorite scene, like, I need my girl. I gotta get her name, proper name, but my other girl, the black
Ruth,
one, amazing. But I'm gonna let
she's
you get it.
been she's yeah, like she's building up her catalog very well. Because she was in the latest season of Black Mirror. If you didn't see that, that's one of that is I'm glad I didn't. I was about to spoil it, but I was like, I'm glad I haven't didn't. But
Oh, I was thinking she looks familiar.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Oh, so you
Yeah,
seen
yeah, yeah,
JR?
yeah.
I'm
She
I'm
did
I'm
good in
too
that too.
I'm too
But
far. I'm too far. Bodies.
She
Hopefully, it's not
wasn't.
about it. Hopefully, it's not about the Link of Thrones. I'm sorry if it is.
Not me. We can talk JR about that. But so she's just coming up with these scenarios of like, what if he might try to touch Rose? And then you have Clay making a joke like, so you don't think he might go after Archie? She like, what? He was like, never mind.
No, I like so no. I love that because that's always the automatic thought process in
Yeah.
what a person's going to do. But you just so fuck your son in that situation. I think that's how it always like in certain situations. I do think men, well, not men. I think we as a society, I think we're super protective of girls as we should, but we should that same protection should be afforded to the boys as well because boys go through sexual abuse like
I
that. I
agree.
think that should be a thing as well. So, like I get where she was coming from, but I love that he threw that back there. Like, wait, so we just fuck Archie, huh?
Right.
Like,
No, it's true though. And I feel like a lot of comments in this movie, like the script was amazing. Now,
it
this movie was
was.
very long and it had a lot of dialogue. And I feel like a lot of the dialogue had larger meaning than what it may have presented in the scene. What you got, Jason?
I wonder if Quentin Tarantino was in the room somewhere because that's some shit he'll do.
But see, I don't remember the word nigger being dropped. So Tarantino was not in the room. I'm just saying.
Had nothing to do with this.
And there was no blood splatter anywhere. So you know he was nowhere on the premises. But so obviously Amanda's asking him questions, or she's asking GH questions because Ruth is just like, this is his house anyway. Like, y'all ain't even got to be here. And then GH gave them $1,000, was able to open up the bar. And so she's just asking, like, do you have your ID? Another red herring aware to make him look suspicious. Oh, you left it in your jacket pocket that you left at the theater. Like, this ain't sounding right.
So how was you gonna pay for gas that you paying? You have to drive all these hours.
But I
Like,
guess that makes sense as to why he couldn't go to a hotel because he didn't have his ID or a credit card.
I mean, he wasn't looking to do that no way.
He wasn't, but the option definitely was not there. So he was
But
like, "Look,
but
Ruth, we
then
got to go to our other house."
so you got the ID is a problem. Maybe he had the keys to the house, so he possibly could have got in. Well, clearly he could have got in. But then the second
Yeah.
issue is him trying to get inside the cabinet to get the money. He's struggling with the keys. Like,
Mm.
that's
So
another
my
like,
wife
wait.
told me to label him. I'm gonna get it, y'all. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna sit here like I don't trust this nigga. Right?
Bitch, stop laughing. Open that door.
There's nothing funny. No jokes are being said. Like, what are y'all doing? So they're having this conversation, and then we have the alert going off. JR, once we see you have the warning on the TV, what is your thought once we got that? Because, like, did you have any kind of suspicions as to where this movie was going to go once we saw this?
Um, I thought things in the house were gonna get pretty tense with the alarms coming on screen. And, they pretty much do because Ruth and Amanda then get super duper catty with each other while Clay and GH, they're trying to be civil, they're trying to be adults and be rational throughout this thing because the last thing you need in a stressful situation are people losing their heads basically. So they're trying to keep it cool to bring temperatures down a little bit. And Ruth and Amanda are just like firing little darts at each other after the warning popped up on the screen. So my thought was it was going to be a very uneasy night for both families with this alarm, with this warning that popped up.
For sure. Jason, you had something?
So there was two jump scares. The TV turning on, that was one. The Jenga set that they were playing with earlier in the scene,
Yeah.
it fell. So I hated the camera angles in this movie. I'm just gonna say that now.
Really?
I hated those Michael Bay ass angles. Like they was just the camera just out of nowhere just flipped
And
off.
then one else like
I'm just
shooting
like
up,
I'm
looking
just like, man, what?
down.
I didn't like the camera angles. That's one thing I didn't like
Oh,
in the actual movie. But I do love the fact that JR pointed out how rational the men were until they got irrational. I do like that.
Yeah. I was gonna ask y'all about the camera angles. So you didn't like them, Jason. JR, how did you feel about the camera angles?
Some of them were pretty cool. Like when GH and Ruth were at the door, you
Oh,
saw like the middle of like the wall, and then you saw Clay and Amanda, GH and Ruth. I like that one. And then the camera work in the beginning when it was panning closer and closer to Amanda's face before she delivered the one-liner before the
I like that one.
I like that. But then there was a part further in the movie where I think the noise, the alarm was going off or something, that
yeah.
screeching noise, and it was like a top-down shot of Amanda as she was like walking through the house or something.
So,
Why? It just
so
seemed
I feel like they use that camera angle a lot because you also get it when they're driving
yeah.
with the Tesla before like the whole Tesla thing.
Mhm.
And so y'all didn't like the above your head shots when you just looking down at them and you just seeing those. You wasn't feeling that. Because
Not
like
really.
I
a
like
lot of the
that.
angles.
I like the
Oh, go
ones
ahead.
when they I like the ones where it looks like it's a person doing it. Like you
Kind
know,
of when
like
Amanda was asleep and then Clay gave her the water to where
yeah,
you see her laying down.
I like so when the best one you mentioned the Tesla when they was out there looking at the or it's like when they look at something and they'll look back. It's almost like a one it's almost like a one shot one take, but it's
Right.
like we just showing you what's going on in this angle, and it's like whoa, look at that, look what's gonna happen next, and it's like but
Yeah.
you so it's like
It's
so
kind of like
I say I don't like it, but I do feel like the thing where the angles benefited is the tension. I think the tension was always played well in each act or each scene. So like as with that, and like you say, I mentioned the music in the beginning. So every time something happens, the music is layered and it's layered and it's layered until you get to that scene. You're just like, bro, what the fuck is gonna happen? What the fuck is gonna happen? And the angles start moving around. And it's like, I can't see what's happening on that side. And just imagine if you were in that and you doing something,
right.
you like, bro, where the fuck he go? Where the fuck he go? And it's just like, you can't, you don't. It's that I do. It worked in that element.
Yeah. Because I think like when they were in the like in the living room to where which we get I think it's the next morning where Rose is asking her dad to fix the TV. And so you kind of see how open the house is because you go from the kitchen to the living room and she's like, Dad, 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 I want you to fix the TV. And so he goes and the camera follows him to where it's like a wide shot. And then that's when they had the whole switching angle of the camera. So I thought the camera angles in it was unique and cool, interesting, but I was curious definitely what y'all thought about it. So, and I think it also adds to like some of the intense scenes, which this movie had a lot of. It just didn't land how we would have wanted, but these kind of movies really don't never know where they land. The plane might just nosedive in the beach. But
Another
you
nigga,
know who wasn't driving that plane?
he was moving
Whip.
like no. See, that's another nigga. He up there moving like he was acting like Rose. If you see, if I see a plane coming to me,
Would
I'm
you have
out of here.
zigzagged or would you have continued to run straight?
I would have tried to run to the whatever area it wasn't coming to. Cause it was
But
like it's coming down. So
Yeah.
I have to run straight somewhere, but I'm picking an angle. You have to pick an angle at that point. You have to commit to it because once you get to it, hey, you gotta hope the plane don't. Oh,
it could shift though. I was like, I'm gonna ask Jason, should he have ran straight or
man,
zigzag? But
we need to invest in some what's these little things? Parachutes
jetpacks?
and
Oh,
parachute jetpacks. Hell no. Hell no, Turbo Man. We need some parachutes. Cause like, bruh, like just imagine you in a plane. Cause that you talking about paranoid. I mean, shit. What Obama and them trying to tell us? That's all I got to answer now. What you niggas
Jason.
tell?
But
What
you
you
know what I'm
telling
gonna
us?
say? You know who wasn't driving that plane? Whip. Cause ain't no way. Look, Whip would have been able to land that plane.
No, he wouldn't have.
Why
Not
not?
because when they hit the basically
There was like Whip didn't have no technology when he was flying, and he was like, "Yo, empty out all of that shit. Let me take a line of coke.
but
Let me
basically
take a shot of tequila.
but
Let me
basically
get
what
all of that. Let me
but,
be really good and high to land this plane."
but basically what they did is like it's almost like a I think it's an IEP or IMP, whatever it is, EMP, whatever it is, it kills electronics. So the plant you wouldn't be there is no backup for it. Like you just like imagine you in a
You
test
just
like you in a
gliding, Jason. Wasn't that what Whip was doing? He was
no, there's
gliding.
no. It's a difference in gliding and being able to control that bitch. You can't control it no more if
Whip
you
couldn't
confuse.
control nothing but that coke, and that coke controlled that plane. Jr., have you seen Flight? You know what I'm talking about. I basically Whip would have been able to land this plane,
You said
Jason.
you think Whip would have been hey
Yeah.
if you would have trust
Because you
Whip.
know why? Who else I would trust? The person who was behind it couldn't land it. We died. All I'm saying is
Oh my gosh.
50 sober pilots tried to land a plane that Whip did and could not do it. Whip was able to land that plane. I'm just saying. Can you imagine Denzel just having a cameo coming out the plane like, all right, everybody's safe. That's a good what if.
Man,
But
it's a few what I'm saying.
you gotta be sure to call them out. The what ifs that you have them like saved on your notes? Like which
I hope so because I would definitely when I was watching I'm like man what if we'll see.
right.
Oh,
But
I do actually. I do actually. Yeah, I do.
okay. So everybody goes to sleep. Obviously, Ruth is over here trying to talk to GH like we over here sleeping in the basement in our own house. Now saying that out loud, I would have just been like, oh hell no. Let them sleep down here. But then it's just like having any kind of tensions and you not sure what's going on. It's kind of like let's try to keep a calm atmosphere. And obviously GH, is it GH or GL?
GH. George is his
Okay.
name, but GH is yeah, you're right.
I don't know why I got GL up in here, but I'm saying it right. So he knew a little bit, but he wasn't fully committed with the information that he already had. And so now we go into our part 2, the curve. I think that's the name of the second one, but
It
that's what we're
is.
gonna go with. So Ruth is being aggravating. She's just like, y'all need to go ahead and wake up because I'm trying to finish Friends. I don't give a fuck what else is going on. Wake up. And she doesn't know what reruns are, which is very interesting, but she's also a child. She might be like 9 years old. So it is what it is. And then this is pretty much where Amanda wakes up. She sees some alerts on her phone. She tries to show Clay and they're gone. And so at this point, I'm thinking to myself, okay, somebody fucking with y'all. Because to have alerts and then them just immediately no longer showing your phone, I'm curious, like, what's happening with that. And so,
I shouldn't screenshot.
and Amanda just, but I guess you don't think your alerts are going to remove because you're not sure how long they've been on your phone. Because it could have said it's been on her phone for like 2 hours. So why are you going to disappear as soon as I try to wake my husband up? Like,
Yeah,
why are you fucking with me?
It was given the changeling.
Right. That's exactly what it was giving. And I didn't like it. I was for that series, it was cool. But for this, are y'all incorporating aliens and shit too? Like I wasn't sure exactly where they were going with it.
So again, Obama, what you telling us, bro? Like what y'all because if this is any indication of what the president had a understanding of and knew why he was in the White House, this is fucking scary. And I feel
if it happens tomorrow,
we fucked.
are y'all prepared?
Nobody's prepared for this.
Nope.
Nobody is prepared for this.
My nigga, you ain't seen my freezer.
Jazz.
Why do you think I got all these knives?
Jazz.
I'm about to be like Michonne out here. Lots of white. Yo, like what? All right.
But I'm saying I mean, so I don't know, man. Like I said, it because if a cyber security attack was to actually happen, we would be fucked. Like we as a nation would be fucked if that was a real thing. And I do feel like on a small scale, like that's almost what they do in Black communities. Like those three steps they talk about.
Mm, yeah. So I guess will those Black communities be in a better situation when it actually happens because they're already used to it?
Fuck no. No
Oh
better
man.
situation because they used to
I'm
it.
just
It's
saying
gonna
if
be
you're more
it's gonna
prepared,
it's
so you're
you
gonna be
ain't
like, I
you
don't
not
sleep anyway.
I mean you can't I mean, but how do you prepare for like true chaos? Because now it happens, yes. But like if everybody was out doing this, then what? It'd be completely
I
different.
mean, it kind of makes you think we're very dependent on our government. A lot more than what people probably will admit to. And so, and a technology, like if you enable that, motherfuckers gonna lose their minds. It's kind of scary, but good luck, y'all, because I'm definitely preparing. Been preparing for pure chaos.
You got to. You got to.
But and Ruth is just like, look, or excuse me, Rose. She's just like, I'm sick of y'all. I'm trying to watch Friends because it makes me happy. Y'all not fixing nothing. We ain't got no internet, so I'm just gonna go outside and walk towards 100 deers. JR, gonna go back to you since we are speaking about Rose. Like, was this another scene that made you just want to go ahead and choke her out completely?
Yes. Well, yes and no. Yes and no. I'll give her grace because little kids, they're captivated by wildlife. Okay. You see a couple deer, you're gonna go and try to get closer. You don't think, hey, those deer could potentially either impale me with their antlers, horns, whatever, or trample me to death. They're not thinking along those lines. So they're gonna try to get close, they're gonna try to pet them, they're gonna try to like talk to them, like, face to face. So I'll give her some grace because that's just kids for you. But then I'm not gonna give her grace because, hey, you see a bunch of deer just show up for no reason, probably best to keep your distance because you don't know if approaching them is going to provoke them. You don't know how they're going to react with you getting closer to them. So just, they cute, admire them from distance.
What did the deer represent? Did they represent anything?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure
It's
there's a biblical or maybe a mythology.
Making up words.
Mythological, is that not a word? Mythological.
I don't know if that's a word. Mythology is a word.
Methodical, gotta be. But mythology, I'm pretty sure there's something in mythology as well, or folklore, like folklore or something about deer. But I don't know offhand.
no, it's funny that you said that. A random Google alert popped up. No, in my Google feed, there was an article from the guy that wrote the movie, Sam Esmail or something. But yeah, the guy that wrote the movie, and it was about the deer, and he basically just said, "Oh no, I just threw them in there for no reason. There's no significance.
In this
No,
movie,
yeah, there's no significance, no reference, nothing. Just
Wait,
threw them in there, just because they were
what?
innocent. We just threw them in there. There's no like real life meaning or symbolism behind the dare. It's just like, oh, because dares are, cute and what's not. But then if you get like a whole big group of them, they look really scary. So that's it. Just threw it in there for no reason. And I'm like, this
I
is
like
this
I like I like that though. I do. I like that because when things make sense, I mean, oftentimes things make sense, but when it doesn't make sense, it's just like why? You know what I mean? Like it's like okay, I get, but if it's going for the scary element, you're right. Because just think about Jazz. I don't know. You may deal with this too, Jazz. You driving down the road, you see that one deer, you be like, all right, cool. You know. Then when you start seeing eyes on different sides of the road. Like, oh, you slow all the way down. Like, hold up, let
I don't
me.
even get to that point. As soon as I see that one, I'm not like, okay. As soon as I see that one, I'm like, let me slow down.
Nah, when I
I
see
saw,
one, I be cool. It's when I see a
nah,
pack, I'm like, yeah, let me.
that one just creeps me out. I'm like, whew, okay, he's not feeling dangerous today, but he might have some friends later down the line. So I'm like, let me slow down. Man, no. As soon as I see one, I'm like, okay, those deer signs not lying. Because normally you see those deer signs of like active deers. You just like, okay, maybe not. And then you see that one, I'm like, okay, let me slow down. I'm not trying to hit no deer. Nah, I would prefer to hit a gator before I hit a deer. Am I right, JR? What animals are around you? Like,
Um, one of those.
you
There's
don't have
deer,
any to where you got to worry
there's deer
about?
in my area. Well, not in my area. Like you gotta drive like near like the coastline, like up in the hills and stuff for like
Right,
deer, like cows or anything like that. So yeah, you've got to drive like a considerable distance until you see a sign like, oh, cows crossing or whatever. So, but yeah, like cows, sheep, goats, um,
right.
really?
Okay. Okay. That's not too bad. But
Yeah.
so then we get Ruth comes, and so we see a conversation between Ruth and Amanda happen in the kitchen. They drinking a black coffee. JR, or excuse me, Jason, I'm gonna go to you first on this question. Their first engagement of just them two, because obviously we mentioned that there's tension between them already. And so now we see them the next day. Like, how did you feel about this interaction between the two ladies?
Excuse me. Um, this is okay. So this is when they she tell you, you can get some coffee, where the mugs are. I feel like this is her still filling them out. Like, you know the house so well, get a mug so you can sip out of it. Um, I think this was hold on, let me see. Oh, I
Because
feel
it's
like
kind
this
of
was her digging at her. And I feel like they kept going back and forth. Because this is that scene, right?
right.
When she said she was like, that was outside, though, I feel like when she said.
No. This was basically the scene to where you have them two talking, and Amanda told Ruth about the alerts that she got on her phone, and they started asking questions about getting to know each other. Ruth was asking a lot of questions like, "What does your husband do?"
Okay,
And
yeah. So yeah,
so,
that's why I said she was digging at it. She said, I don't want to pick something 10 years down the road. That's something that I don't want to do anymore. And she was just like, bitch, like,
when she said that, did you think that was a so? Do you think that was? I thought that was a generational conversation because you have like millennials and Gen V, or what's them
nah,
niggas? What's the people
nah.
after us? Is it Gen Z?
Gen Z. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's one of the things to where like we don't be stuck at a position or at a
Mhm.
job for long. We're not looking at it like, oh, that longevity, I'm gonna give them 20 to 30 years. If I'm if I ain't trying to be there, I'm gonna leave. So we don't mind switching our jobs. And she was just like, I'm not trying to make any kind of decisions to where I'm gonna spend somewhere for 10 years and then regret it after that.
Mhm.
And so like did like
I
is
felt like
that
it
what
was a
you got
dig.
from this?
I felt like it was a dig at
It
Julia
was
at
an
the same.
absolute
Oh, usually. Oh,
hell yeah.
I thought you weren't saying. I said I felt like she was digging. I feel like it was a real moment for her, but it also was a dig, and they kept filling each other out the entire time. So I feel like Ruth came in on that aggressive energy, but Julia was already in that, and
Right.
Julia was profiling them. But I do feel like in the same exact thing, Ruth is doing the same exact thing. But I feel like you need that person in your family to be that voice of reason, because you can't just be happy go lucky. Hey, we cool with this. We doing next. Right? Hey, nigga, we need to. Hey, you need that woman that's gonna check you, or you need to be the dude. Somebody in the family to be the one that's checking the situation. Like, hey, what's going on here? What is this? What's like y'all need to like shit. We need to be leaving. Or somebody need to be leaving about this motherfucking. Like we both can't be here.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting because Ruth said she had a friend that studied media studies, and she said, and I never knew what that was. So I'm not gonna lie. I felt like that was a dig at me because I majored in media studies. And every time, like, because I watched this twice, and I'm sitting here like, bitch, I can tell you what media studies falls under. Like, I can let you know what that is. You got TV and broadcast go into media studies. But we ain't gotta go down that road. I was just like, okay, I hope Ruth get her ass up out of here, but I don't want to root against the black sister. But JR, we also get GH. He comes in and he's speaking about the I love you bug. And so at this moment, I was really suspicious of them before, but now it's starting to seem like this movie is moving towards a there's hackers type of situation. Is that what you were feeling? Did you feel like him explaining that type of past event was helpful to the storyline? Were you expecting that? What did you think about this?
No, definitely helpful to the storyline, especially considering how the alerts were on Amanda's phone and then just suddenly disappeared. You know, it's not the phone doing that. It had to be someone controlling it remotely, you know, hacking into the phone network or whatever and making those signals disappear. So um, I was leaning on the fence about what could have possibly like gone wrong to have, you know, knocked out the internet, the TV, you know, the electronics being down. So when he explained that, it was like, okay, this sounds very feasible, especially with how the movie's been progressing so far. So to me, he was shedding light on a possible reason for the situation. So I was like, okay, let me keep this in mind because this might be an important footnote to remember in the future, later on in the film.
Right. No, I'm not mad at that. And then on this, we get a next couple of scenes of where we get three different events happening at once. And so you have them going from each scene to each scene. So I want to focus on each one at a time. And so I want to go to you first, Jason, for Ethan Hawke's character, Clay. He leaves. He's like, I'm going to go get a newspaper. Now, I was not sure as to what he thought the newspaper was going to tell him because newspapers don't print how they used to. Like, you thought you were going to be in like upstate New York and that you was an event that happened yesterday was going to be in the newspaper the next day.
You're supposed to.
Suppose, yeah.
With blackouts,
I mean,
especially
you don't know what's going on, so you don't know who if it could be
would
reported
you
or
have
not.
trusted something was going to be in the newspaper the next day?
I would, yes, I would hope so, because I don't know,
Interesting.
I don't know what's going on. So why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I think that?
I guess, and it might just be me. I would think like the newspaper doesn't have any up to date information, especially being that they came to my house late last night. That means something probably happened that evening. That means you got to have your
What would have happened?
well, I mean, you got to have your printing company print a story to have it available for you, and you have to have somebody deliver that to the gas station or the store that you're getting the information from. So you have a lot of moving parts. And if you have a full on blackout in a major city like New York, I would think there's nothing going to be available. But that's just me. Like, I'm not looking for a newspaper because obviously information is faster digitally. So for them to get a story to print it on ink and then to have somebody deliver that to the store close to where you are, which is upstate New York or like in the middle of nowhere, I wouldn't have thought that information would have been available. But that's just me. But I could be wrong. Like, you think that's something that would have been available?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, JR?
Nah, I don't think it would have been because, you know, I'm sure I don't know how, you know, newspaper printing presses work, but I'm sure they would have some portion of the staff. They're on the internet. They're looking for like breaking news updates so that they can print like the latest news as close to their deadline to start printing as possible. So if computers are out, they can't access up-to-date information before they go to print. So if electronics are out, what can they write about
Right.
possibly? So
I used to always question it though when I used to get the newspaper. Like I feel like the latest thing, like if it was like 12 o'clock, like that information wasn't in there. But I feel
yeah,
like it was enough time for information to be there. But them being trapped where they couldn't even move around, that's issue number two. So that would have been the only reason I don't think newspaper would have been there, but we didn't know that at this point. We don't know
yeah.
that until we find out about the Teslas. So that's why I'm like, them trying to get a newspaper, that wasn't a bad idea. Them trying to go to the store. Cause I mean, at this point, what else can you do? You only can go to the certain stuff that you know of, or the place you can, But
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have even thought of going to get a newspaper. That's just me. I'm just like, I ain't nothing gonna be there. But who knows? But obviously, Clay got lost. He ran into somebody while he was on his travels.
That's all it would have been too. That's all it would have been. Ran into. I would have kept moving too.
So
I would have paid her dust. I wouldn't even stop.
I was gonna ask that. Like, I was gonna ask, would y'all have even stopped? JR, what about you? It's okay if you wouldn't have.
It's okay if you would.
But would you?
I wouldn't have. Because I don't know. They could be a robber. They could be looking to hijack my vehicle and drive off and leave me somewhere. You just can't take that chance. So I wouldn't have stopped.
Let me ask this. Would y'all have stopped if she had an ass?
I'm married. No.
All right. I just had to ask.
But also
I'm married.
But I'm also mad in the world ending. I'm taking Julia down.
Okay, so would you have stopped if you heard her speaking English rather than Spanish?
No, I wouldn't have heard nothing. I would have literally. My speed would have never changed. My speed never would have changed. That would have been all I would have got.
You would have turned. So I'm thinking, like, why was she out there by herself in the middle of nowhere? Like, where were you going and where were you coming from?
We got to get one of our Spanish speakers to give us that information, because I'm not sure what she was saying. So she could have been saying something very important. I know she said she was trying to get she left the house and something happened, but I couldn't really make it out. It was too fast for my ears. I'm still
some Spanish.
I know a little bit. She was going too fast though for me. I know she had left the house, and then she said she ran into some problems, but I couldn't. I don't know the too many definitions that I don't know.
Right. And obviously we've come to find out Clay does not know how to get back to anywhere. He's not good with a sense of direction because he got lost when he's supposed to go to the store. And he made sure later on in the movie when he asked GH, how do we get to that freeway? He said, the same way you got here, nigga. Like, what you mean? So he wasn't really good. And you have no navigational system, which is another thing to where it's like people don't really have that much of a good sense of direction because we depend on technology. So that wasn't available. So he had to figure things out on his own. So that's why you shouldn't put 100% of your dependence in technology, because once that shit go out or get hacked, what you doing?
Yeah, you know how to read a map?
Somewhat, yeah.
She'll get us lost. Jazz, you know how to read a map?
Hell yeah. Look, when MapQuest got us lost, what did we have? A regular map. So yes.
I don't know how to read one, so shit. I'm assed out. I can't do it.
That's why I told you. I don't think either one of y'all would survive a situation like this. I'd probably last the longest.
Wait a minute. Whoa. That's not because what? You know how to read a map? You can't even go nowhere.
Now, so I ain't gonna argue. She got her knives and her stars, so like listen.
No.
You even got some knives.
I'm very resourceful. I just can't read a map. That's about it. Like everything else, like I'm cool with. Make a fire. I can make a fire.
Can you fish?
I can go grab some fish. I can't. I'm not a fisher.
So you can't fish. So that's a no.
I can go grab them.
So you can't fish.
I just asked you. I can bear fish. I can bear fish.
You're not a bear.
I don't have to be a bear to bear fish.
Here go Jason. Yo, I'm trying to get one. I'm trying to get, and we just like, Jason, you're failing right now. Like,
so you telling me it's gonna be a lot better because you got a goddamn fish in a pole versus me in there grabbing them and picking them up out the water?
Do you really think there's no way you think fishing is that easy to get a fish? You could just grab them out the water.
It depends on how deep the water is. Actually,
you be seeing bears struggling to get fish.
I don't see bears do nothing because I don't be around bears.
So how do you? They got videos. So how do you know how you bear fishing?
I watch the bear fish.
You see how they struggle? They be missing too.
But look. I know how. I don't like to fish. I've done it. It's been years. My granddad probably took me, and I was probably like 7. So yeah,
Jason,
no.
do you know how to fish?
If it's already set up.
That's a no. Like it's the end of
What?
the
Wait,
world.
Jazz. So wait. So you know how to put a line on a line on a reel. That's what you telling me?
No, what I'm telling you is
No. I asked you a question, young lady. Answer it.
I am going to answer.
Okay.
I know a nigga that can fish.
That nigga
No.
ain't with us. That nigga ain't with us. It's me, you, and Jr. So what's up?
Mm, nah,
You
we
see,
screwed.
you see what I'm saying, Jr.
Wait,
So
say no.
I'm out.
No,
I'm out.
it's all right.
Now I'm in the water trying to get the fish up out the pool because Jazz done lied to us about knowing how to fish because that
I
nigga ain't
never
with
said
us.
I know how to fish. I just asked, do you know how to fish? You assumed I knew how to fish because I was asking if you knew how to fish.
We gonna figure it out. We ain't even got no fishing pole. So now what?
Get a stick.
You
Do you
think
know how to
you
start
you
a
think
fire?
you
Do you
Huckleberry
do
Finn,
you know how to start a
Tom
fire?
Sawyer.
Do you know how to start a fire, Jason?
Yes.
Okay, that's important. You got to have somebody that knows how to start a fire.
Jeez.
A fucking fishing pole, my nigga, get a stick. You look,
A stick in the string. You'll get the string from.
them look. You need to worry about where you're getting that worm from because the worm is what's gonna get the
That's
fish.
easy. The worm is easy.
Look,
The worm
even
is
if you
easy.
gotta stick your fucking finger in the water and wait till the little fish come through,
Jazz, I promise you can grab a fish quicker than you gonna put
I
a
feel like they're
worm.
so slippery. I feel like they're so slippery.
So when the fish starts sucking your finger, what you gonna do?
No, when they start doing that, I'm just gonna be like, everything reminds me of him.
Yo.
So
That's
we
We gonna leave
see.
Jazz behind. That's what we doing. Leave the Jazz behind.
So while Clay is also out driving, while he's leaving hoes on the street, we see
As he
a
should.
drone dropping off all of these like red pieces of paper. Now I'm not gonna lie, when I saw this scene, I thought it was chemicals because it was such a far distance.
I did too. I wanted it to be.
I wanted it to be too. I was kind of upset that it was like, my nigga, you throwing out index cards.
I thought it was like red smoke. I was like, man, what was that?
Right.
That
I
nigga
thought that's
Clay
what it
ain't
was
coming
too.
back.
Bye, Clay. Look, his wife said he's not coming back. She already had him dead before he was even.
And yeah, and you over here thinking if I was dating, goddamn, what's her name again?
Amanda?
What's the Underground Railroad? What was her name?
Harriet Tubman.
I'm supposed to be waiting on her to come back. No, look at the times we in. I'm not
But
waiting.
wait. So those are two different eras. So you can't really do much comparison because, all right. So if that's the case, Jason, you can't be mad at Lori for sleeping with Shane because she thought Rick was dead.
Laura was already fucking it, man. I
She
don't
was
care what.
fucking him before the zombies popped off.
She was tapping
She
that dick
wasn't.
before. She was tapping dick when Rick was
That's an
around.
assumption. That's an JR. You're familiar with The Walking Dead, right? Was Lori wrong for sleeping with Shane when she thought Rick was dead?
No, I don't think she's wrong. I don't think she was wrong.
She
I
was
don't
wrong
think
as a
so
mother.
either.
She was wrong
How
as
was
a
she
motherfucker.
wrong, Jason? If you saying that Harriet Tubman's husband wasn't wrong because he
Yes,
thought
was.
she was dead until she popped back up saying, "Hey, I'm back." And he's like, "I can't leave. I got a kid on the way." So he chose his kid over freedom. Wouldn't be me. Wouldn't be me. I'm going for that freedom.
The kid ain't freedom. Hell, that's they lost it when you got the kids. So he was losing both ways.
Nah, he would have got that freedom. He would have got Harriet with no kid. He should have left his baggage down there in the South. But to this movie, I kind of wish it was some type of red smoke and not index cards. But obviously, we see the reasoning why it was happening. And then we get GH. Ooh, JR. What were your thoughts of when he rode up to this house and what he saw on the beach?
That was wild. I wasn't expecting that scene on the beach. When he came to the house and he saw the window was broken, the door was pushed in, I'm thinking, oh, people looted the house or something, or home invasion, robbery, whatever. He went in. Was there water on the floor? Yeah, I think there was some water on the
It
floor.
Yeah.
was super wet.
Yeah, I was like, wait, why is there water? It's so weird. And then he got to the beach, and then he saw like all the dead bodies, the plane wreckage in the distance, and then hearing the noise, and then the plane's coming, and it's like, nah, but wait, can't happen because the plane's already crashed there before. And somehow, some way, he made it inside. Got soaked, but better soaked than dead. But yeah, that was
I would,
wild.
cause it. I think he instantly thought about his wife when he seen them people. But the first time I see a
Yeah.
white man, the first moment I seen a dead white man, I'm up out of that bitch anyway. Oh, I'm already running. Oh yeah, no, I'm up out of here because he seen a watch. Like, I mean, I guess it was a nice watch. I don't know, but you pick a watch up and a body come up out that bitch, I'm running.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
was a
it
nice element.
was,
I like the element.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool, but I was just like, damn. So all the planes just dropping here. But then I was wondering, like, with all the damage in that house, did people just like? I was curious, like, what happened there? Did
I
the
think
people
that
that
I'm thinking of when that first plane crashed.
had
Um
survivors?
no, when it crashed, the impact destroyed the house. I think that was the first part of
Yeah.
what destroyed it.
Got you. Okay, I ain't mad at that. And then you have the kids. They go into the woods doing childish kid shit because Rose is like, I need to go find something to do because I can't watch Friends. And I'm glad Archie went with her in the woods because
Mm.
like that's your little sister. Like, go watch her because I was like, she's gonna be the first one to die.
Yeah.
But he was being a creep. Like, how are you taking pictures from a distance?
He needed to go.
Like,
He needed that for at nighttime.
we see,
That
we
boy was
see.
down bad. Let's be honest. That boy was down bad. Like
He
when
man, he
when
was
they're at the
16.
beach, when they're at the beach and like almost broke his neck to see those two girls in the bikinis walking by. And then when Taylor dropped her location and he saw that she was in the bikini, he's like, oh, how far is this place from here? We can go there. It's not that far, I don't think. Let's go. I'm ready. I'm wondering, did he like delete the image before he showed his mom the pin? Because that would be weird if like you just
JR, I was curious too. So I was like, yo, you gave your mom that phone really fast. She could easily scroll up and see Taylor in that bikini.
oh no, you're going nowhere.
Right. I don't think he deleted it. I think he seems like the type that would save that in his phone. That boy was horny as hell.
Question, Jazz, when you get pictures, do you save them? You just leave it in the text thread.
I just leave it. It depends. It depends.
If
But
it's heat,
normally,
if it's heat or not.
if it's a solid video, like if it's just a picture, no, I leave it in a text thread. Text thread. If it's like a good video, I save it.
What's a good
But
video?
Don't wait. What?
him saying yes, boss.
Jazz getting off some voices is funny. However, I get it. I
No,
get it.
you got
A
to
good a
chill.
good a good voice is yeah. I
It
like
makes
it's
it.
the other stuff that gets me at this when you get in your 30s, it's other stuff that turn you on. I'm like, she be cooking daily.
Yo,
Damn. You
She's doing
you
laundry?
you cleaning on a Tuesday? Nigga, it's Taco Tuesday. What's up?
You
look,
pay your bills on time? Oh my God.
yeah, no, Jr. You pay the bills early.
Early?
What?
That's
No, and
well.
fuck that. You on what is it? You on automatic bill pay? What? Oh,
Oh, you got
bitch,
your
you
shit
you
straight.
responsible and you got some
Listen,
money.
I
Pay
ain't gonna
me.
lie. Wait, so you saying was it good though? Sexy? Oh God! Let me chill. Let me chill.
Jazz, leave the jazz behind. I told y'all.
But and then we have Ruth and Amanda. They chilling by the pool.
More racism.
So when she said, she was just like, "Are you gonna get in?" She was like, "No, what about you?" And then Ruth was like, "It's too much of a hassle." Why? Because of your hair? Listen, Amanda needed to be choked out a few times. Jason, this is your bae.
Bender.
How did defend? Yeah, I don't think Jason can defend this shit.
I'm, maybe Julia just knew something about the black woman's hair, and she was like, "Wait, you don't want to like, I get it, because you don't want to mess that up. Like, it's a whole process that comes with it, because she know that, what I'm saying, she knew Denzel, like she know black people. Over here trying to run through my mind of black people she been in movies with.
Not
It was
that
like
many.
not that many. Got
So Jason like, well, she don't really know much, right?
so she knew
Right.
something. She knew something. So I'm not like I said, it was a. But now what I was going to mention is Ruth. Like, I feel like she's like that anyway. She's just that natural person. So I think she does. Like, she has hair. She has hair under her armpits. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's fucking gross.
I can't even really ask JR, but I like when women, as long as well, just like with men, I feel like as long as it's kept and you keep them odors out the way, I'm not mad at that. I'm.
So wait, you would talk to a female that has like hair under her arms?
Yeah, why not?
She could braid that shit up?
Braid it? You doing too much now. No, that's because I can't even braid mine, so you shouldn't be able to braid yours. Like, no, not braid the hair up under there. No, that's too much.
So long as she's able to bring the same hair energy to you, it's fine.
I can't say the same hair because I got hair in places that you probably ain't supposed to even have hair in. So I'm not gonna say that. Armpits, like, I'm okay with the armpit hair though. Like,
JR, what about you?
Listen, I know there's a movement with armpit hair and what's not. And listen, all respect to the ladies that do it. Salute, God bless. That's not my thing. And I will not be shamed for being against it because we all have preferences,
This is true.
It's about how you voice your preference, you don't have to be a jerk about it, just say, hey, it ain't for me, but different strokes for different folks, God bless. That's
You're
it.
right.
That's it.
Yeah, that's hell no. Huh.
Mm.
But I just remember that shot when she jumped in the pool and bodies, and you see that shit. I'm like, that's gross. But yes. So GH comes back and he's soaking wet.
Mm.
Ruth is like, why are you wet? I fell in the pool. I don't understand why he did not just come out and say the truth with her in there, because like y'all realize there's some shit popping off right now. So I don't understand why a lot of the characters felt the need to hold the information that they had and didn't share it with the group, because Amanda and Clay did that with the oil rig that washed up on the beach. And so now we see it with GH not wanting Ruth to know that he saw a plane nosedive at the beach. He was like, the captain was not whipped, so they're dead. And he's obviously scared. And so, yeah, that was kind of wild. And then he's just telling Amanda all of this stuff because there's obviously some information that he is aware of that he has not disclosed. And then we have the loud noise happen. Amanda's like, where my kids at? And so she goes into the forest to try to find them. And then we go to our part 3, the noise. Everybody is back at the house except for Clay. Jason, with this scene of them actually having a conversation of what could possibly be happening, do you think Ruth was kind of overreacting in this scene?
Possibly. I mean, so this is when they basically fit to get ready to leave, right? When the family is leaving.
No. This is when So GH is pretty much trying to share some of the information that he's aware of. And Ruth is like, I mean, not Ruth, Amanda's kind of in panic mode, like, what the fuck we about to do? And so GH was like, we should wait till Clay gets back. And she said, Clay might not come back. That nigga might be dead. Mm-hmm. And so they're like, Ruth and GH are very calm because they're thinking, oh, maybe it could be cyber attacks. And then they start to reference something else. And then Ruth is asking, are there any kind of, she said, it wasn't power lines, it was plants, like power plants or something like that, because hackers can hack those. Mm-hmm. And Amanda's like, bitch, why are you still asking about that? Like, what do you know something I don't know? Like, what are you doing? So
you said, did you, I feel like you asked me, it was Ruth, but you meant Amanda, I think. Like
Amanda, do you think Amanda was overreacting?
No. Nigga, I don't know what's going on. Nigga, you just told me you seen a plane crash in the water. You had a cell phone that doesn't work, even though you have a clear view of the sky. What's going on? I don't know what's going on, and I feel like if you was in a situation of not knowing what's going on, but the unknown is always fear. Anytime you don't know something, that's why you close the door at night, Jazz. Even though you don't close the door in your restaurant.
Wow. So, okay. That's what we're doing. I live alone, so I don't know why. We don't have to go through this.
I'm just saying, it's the unknown. The unknown is what scares people.
But see, that scenario that you just used, that doesn't work. The only reason why I close my bedroom door at night is because I'm paranoid. I close my closet door at night too.
Of what? What you paranoid of?
It's because my imagination creates something. I will think of any.
It's called the unknown. That's why.
Because ain't shit in your nobody's closet in my house. It's not. Don't.
No, you don't.
Well, it better not be nobody in here. I hope not. But I'm just saying, it's not like, oh, I think somebody's going to come in here. It's just how my mind and imagination runs through. I will think of every scary movie. If I wake up in the middle of the night and I look through my closet door and there's nothing there, I will start to think something dark in there is a fucking figure. I'm thinking Freddy and it immediately.
It's the unknown. But I'm saying it's always the unknown because ain't shit in there. But it's the unknown thought of it might be something in there. I don't know for real.
But you realize the shit that I think might be in there is not nothing that's real. So I'm just a paranoid person.
I mean, so you close the door, stop. How many times did a closed door stop Freddy Krueger from coming through?
It doesn't.
How many times did it stop Pennywise from coming through?
Neither one does. But
so it's just the unknown. I feel like it's just the unknown in that situation. I mean, stuff like that don't bother me. Like, I love watching horror movies at night, door open, in the room, I'm in the bed. Like, I want all of these elements. I need all of this.
JR, what about you?
Listen, I'm a big chicken, so horror films aren't for me. I don't even know if you can call Texas Chainsaw Massacre a horror film. I don't know. Yeah, but that was like the last horror film I watched when I was younger. And it creeps me out, so I was definitely like, locking doors, closing my door when I went to sleep. Definitely like up to my paranoia level. But yeah, me and horrors, not a good match.
So that wasn't even the question, brother. So when you go to sleep at night, do you close your door?
I do, yeah.
Why?
It's not even paranoia. It's just I don't know.
What about when you go to the restroom?
It just feels weird when it's open.
When you go to the restroom, you close the door? At home. We talking about at home.
Yeah. I don't know why. Just yeah.
Is it out of habit?
It's out of habit. Yeah, it's no like, oh, I'm paranoid or anything. It's just out of habit.
I do think closing the bathroom doors out of paranoia. I mean, I'm from Memphis. Elvis died in the toilet. I don't want to die like that. I don't want you to see me like that.
But they would have to find you, so they would have to open the door.
Leave me.
Nobody's gonna leave you in there. They gotta sell that house. They're not gonna tell you died in it though, because that's gonna bring the value down. I'm just saying. But yeah. I don't even know how we even got here, but
paranoia.
Yes. And Amanda's obviously
paranoia.
Right. Mm-hmm. So Clay comes back. He does not tell them about the woman that he left on the side of the street. But he shows them the index card. And so nobody's able to recognize exactly where it's from. And then their son comes in and he's like, that means death to America. Immediately the family's like, yeah, we're about to bounce. We're out of here. See y'all later. And then this is where Clay is just like, what are directions? How do we get back to that freeway? He's like, I done told you 100 times, my dude, the same way you got here. But obviously he used the GPS when they got there. He doesn't have that anymore. And so we get this very interesting pileup with a bunch of Teslas. JR, how this scene unfolded, or like, were you expecting what happened to happen?
Nah. I thought it was a case of all the cars were parked because people just got out and tried to like walk to wherever they were going because of the traffic jam. Because you saw a couple minutes after the Teslas, you saw like that wide shot of the highway, and there was just like backlog traffic for miles. So yeah, I thought it was a case of people just abandoning the cars to walk to get to their destination. So it's only when Amanda got out and started looking at like the paperwork on it and just saw like, oh, they were all Teslas. I did not think, oh, they had some sort of mechanical problem until you saw one coming. And I thought, oh, wait, that looks exactly all the cars are here. And you can't really see if there's a driver or not. But I thought, oh, nah, it can't be a driver because that thing's like, it's not slowing down. So, and you know what? Funny enough, a couple of days after that movie came out, there was an article doing the rounds on Twitter about Tesla having to recall several models because of some technical fault or something. So I'm thinking, wait, news like this is foreshadowing.
I saw that. For sure. I was just like, oh wow. I mean, because it makes sense. Like any of those cars that need like networking to operate or that's connected to like a satellite, I would immediately think they're the first ones to go. And so, yeah, I definitely thought the same. Jason, did you have anything to add for this scene?
No, I did. I think we kind of touched on it previously. I do love how they played this scene out. And it's funny how they went from. I think this when they camera went when it was going showing the tag. It was like this is a new car, like it's brand new. And then it said something about they self-operated or something like that. Then it panned over to the one coming, and she was like, "Get the fuck in the car! Get the fuck in the car!" And he was like, "For what?" Like I don't like when people. I don't like that person. Bitch, just listen. Like I'm not gonna say you nothing wrong at this moment. Like you see me running, just move. Like, but again, the white people, black people, it's a different thing. They understand one nigga start running, all niggas run. It's understood.
This is true because I'm not asking no questions. I see them panic. Oh, let me go ahead. Maybe they got the right idea. Like I'm not sticking around. And so we get our part 4, the flood. So the family is back. They went back to the house. Would y'all have let them back in?
Nope.
You would have just treated like.
I don't even know y'all. Who are you?
Shit.
This is my house now.
Like tensions were high throughout all their interactions. So it's not even like they managed to patch things up and like they left on a good note, like, oh, good luck, out there, whatever. It wasn't like a civil thing. Like Ruth was like, oh, they're gone. Like this is the best thing for everyone involved. So bye, Felicia. She was ready to see the back of that family, so I didn't expect them to be welcomed back in so quickly, so that definitely caught me by surprise.
I did because the dad was in charge, not the daughter. So I knew he was going. He would have been okay.
GH, voices of reason.
Yeah.
I will say the men were pretty much on the right path in this movie, and the ladies were more so.
I don't think there was a right. I don't think there was a right or wrong in that moment. And when it comes to you protecting your family, Kevin told them in that moment, like you need to do, and you gonna have to pick that. So, there's some things we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, and so like now they're back in the house and they're just trying to come up with a plan of like what they should do. Should we find a bomb shelter? Should we find like a shelter or anything like that? Look, if the highways look like what y'all just saw, you ain't finding no shelter. So we might as well just stay where we're at. You know,
Yeah,
we're confined.
I like that was. I mean, that was technically was a callback.
To which scene?
The end of the movie.
Oh, right.
Find a bomb shelter.
Oh yeah. So it's just like to where you can actually survive in this kind of situation, or wait till things become more clear. And so the son is in his room with his pictures, doing his sicko type of shit. And so we have another situation where we have two of our characters together, two things happening parallel. So you have Ruth and Clay. JR, how did you feel about this exchange?
Was that when they were in
they were smoking weed?
Yeah, they were vaping or whatever. Ruth's questioning was really out of pocket. You know, like when he said, "Oh, I'm a teacher. Oh, have you ever tried to have sex with one of your students?" It's like, wait, is that the first thing you go to? Not even like, oh, how is it when you teach? What do you like about the job? What you don't like? It's like, nah, do you have sex with your
wait. My line of questioning is gonna change. 100%. My line of questioning is changing when the world is ending. Because she wanted to beat. She wanted to beat.
You think so?
Yeah, she wanted to beat. Because why would you ask that question? Why does it?
I thought she was just trying to test him out to see if he was like one of those creep teachers. I didn't think she was trying to fuck.
Yeah, that man ain't said nothing to this woman at all. She came to him. You want to smoke some weed? Like, if anything, I would be like, "Look, girl, get the fuck out of my face." That probably would have been the situation. Like, bitch, fuck out of here. But yeah, that was kind of wild. Yeah, the end of the world don't take away moralities.
So, but hold on, wouldn't like if it's the end of the world, like remove all filters?
No.
Really?
No, it doesn't. Mm-mm. Like it removes the filter as long as it's still morally okay. So like me with this man's daughter, that wasn't okay. Like it, that wouldn't have been the moment. So I'm glad it didn't turn into nothing as well. So I like it was just outside of her line of quit. But that was in line with who she is and how she acts. Like she would just say whatever on her mind. They never really established how old she was neither. That's the other thing in that. But I know she was older than 16. I know that for a fact.
I'm pretty sure she was like done with school, because even her dad was just like, when she wanted to fly to Coop, she was looking at certain places and apartments. So I think she was at least 22, 23 years old.
Yeah.
But JR, end of the world situations, are you removing your filter, or are you just going to keep that in place?
No, I'm keeping it in place. Because you still don't know, you don't really know this person. You know, I mean, sure, you're trapped in the same house simply because of circumstances, but that's not to say that you should drop your guard completely all the way down, because you don't know how they're going to respond. You know, it could either go really well or go really, really bad. And if it goes really, really bad, then you're going to have that awkward moment like, oh, we're still in the same house. We've got to interact with each other after that awkward moment. So now I will still keep my filter up, my guard up, keep it civil, but still be respectable.
I think Ruth lived in awkward spaces. So I don't think that would have bothered her at all.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And then we have GH and Amanda having some drinks in the kitchen, and then it goes into the music or the record room. Jason, I want to get your thoughts on this entire scene, because we obviously get a story from GH of his friend who gave him some information that he wasn't exactly sure if it should be something that he would worry about. And then we start to see things unfold, and we start to see his character realizing like, oh, this is serious. And so he's sharing this information with Amanda. Jason, what do you think about this scene?
Like I said, the dialogue in this was I really enjoyed and I love. He kind of, prior to him telling her the information that his friend told him, he was discussing just I guess based on everything that's going on, like how far in delusion was he? Um and just how it's making him question who he is and just questioning everything that's going on. And then he was saying, um, oftentimes people that deal with these numbers, they come in with these preconceived beliefs, even though they see the truth. Like they can see the truth and they still go off what they believe in that. And oftentimes people like this is real life. Like people can see they know what the fuck an outcome is going to come of, but just because you believe it's not is you touch the stove, it's hot. You know it's hot. You can't change that. Bitch, it was just on. It's not gonna not be hot no more. It doesn't, you still do it. And then, she asked him, I know that makes you feel like, yeah, for some people, yeah, I love when they get that lesson. But the problem is the delusion of the person that learns from the lesson or the person that don't. Because some people get like, I do feel like you have to have the person that's going to be like, nah, that's not the reason. Because that's how you get that. Because I think is once you make the impossible possible, anything is possible, right? That was the saying. I forget what the fuck that was from. But that's a saying that somebody said. Ever since then, I'm like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But um he talked about the person he knew that worked in the Pentagon. Um, and he was just telling them, he normally meet up with some of the people at the evil cabal, and he typically makes a joke about it, but then he reversed it, and he threw the evil cabal conversation out, and he said, but this time the dude didn't laugh, and at the but in that was the other part of it, like since that's kind of in his head, so that made him, instead of going to his home in the city, it was like, I need to get away from people. I need to get far away from people. This don't sound good. This nigga got me moving big. He got me moving money, a lot of it in a short window. That's not typically how this go. This person, and when you know people that's creatures of habit, and they in these high places, like nah, like I said. So Obama, this third time, what are you telling us, sir? Like I'm not done. Tell your people to holler at me. Like whenever y'all see this, I know y'all gonna see it.
But make
But
sure y'all subscribe.
Malaya and Sasha too. Let them. I got 4 people in your house, so make sure y'all do that.
Right.
But of course, he pisses off Julia. With his story. I think this is probably. I feel like this would have been me or Jazz, because I think when the conversation we have, and it go dark, you just like, damn, I fucked the mood up, huh? My bad.
Like, damn, I can't even drop no joke off of that. Like, all right, let me walk out the room real quick. Like, damn.
And they go to and she, he take it to the record room, which it's bum at that. This movie, like the collections that they had in here from just pop collection, was super dope. He trying to play some jazz. She's like, I can't throw no ass to no jazz. Like
that is not what she said, but indirectly, that's exactly what she said. Did y'all think
it
was gonna like? I
Urban
thought
Dictionary Translation.
You said what, Jr.
Urban Dictionary Translation, basically.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. In this scene, I was like, please do not have no kind of affair type of behavior, because
I
that's
wanted them.
really fuck up the vibe.
I wanted them to. That would have been
Julia was not about to get that dark skinned chocolate man dancing the way she was doing.
Man, shit, that would have been like, oh shit, because he was trying to match. He was trying to match it
Jason.
too. This kind of remind me of that look. It's a video on Instagram of the high school people at prom. You saying that in the 90s? Talking about some bankhead bounce, bitch. If you don't throw some ass up in this prom,
but hold on. You know what? Confession. I was getting ready to go to the gym, and I did like the bankhead bounce in the mirror. I was like, ooh, and I was making sure, like, doing a little low, making sure I ain't bend my knees. That shit was fire. I was gonna make a video, but I was like, niggas don't need to see this.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Please, I'm glad you didn't make that. Keep this.
You sound like a hater.
I'm not gonna be. I'm hating on anybody doing this in the club. Like
no, I had.
But then everybody doing this. Like, bitch.
Like you having a seizure.
Like they got the Harlem Shake. The Harlem Shake was the thing.
That's a nasty era.
It wasn't that nasty though. That shit was fun. Yeah,
It was, but looking back at it in hindsight, nasty times.
I
So,
mean,
but but then in this, so now she picks the record. I'm like, oh shit, it's next. That's what's up. Wifey, we just mentioned that. That's their song. That's as far as when it comes on. But you play this song, and I'm like, oh shit, the sexual tension is here now. And the first thing she puts it on, I wonder if she can tell how hard I am right
Yo,
now. That's the
I
first line of that song.
it is.
I was watching the movie with my wife, and she was sat next to me, and I just burst out laughing so hard. She looked at me because I've heard that song so many times, but I don't think I ever remembered it starting so explicitly.
That's
So I
all
have to
that when I
That's
seen them pull the record out, that's the only thing that came to mind. I said, bro, how are they gonna handle this?
it's only like if you stream it on the radio in the music video, that line is. I don't think that line is there.
Yeah,
It
it's
took
not.
it took me a long time to be like, wait a minute, what you mean? Where does this come
that's
from?
it caught me off guard. I'm like, wait, has that always been the
Oh,
song?
what?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Has that always been the song? Because I've only now picked up on it.
Yeah,
But then
no.
you have this little emotional scene between them, and as they're he's so first off, that was the first thing. I wonder if she can tell how hard I am right now. Now they hugging, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be
It
honest
probably
with you.
wasn't
I'm a
hard.
so I
Uh,
would have been. So, but look,
Now,
so in
yo,
this, so in this scene,
there it
I'm
is.
gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. So whenever I kiss a woman, like it's one of my favorite. This is my move. This is my move. This is my motherfucking move.
Are
We
you sure you want to
hugging.
share this with the world? Like, you might be
I
giving
would,
away some.
and
I'm
that's
curious to how
that's
many of his victims are listening to this
so
right
this is
now.
so
That's
we
like,
so I'm saying
yeah,
you hugging. You had a look, your look, the what's that? The uncomfortable silence. Remember, that's the mo. But it's fun. Now we good because you all in my neck area. You can smell me. You in my chest area. You can smell it. So I know you. It's like it's you getting Jason right now. This is me in my bag. And then you pull up. She pull her head off your chest a little bit, and she look up like for me.
you're gonna look back at this video like, yo, I look wild.
That's the point. That's the point. But that would have been me. But then, as he said, he was like, he said, "I really." He paused, and the song go, "I want to sex you so damn bad. I want you so damn bad sexually. Want you so damn bad." So that's what happens. Then he goes, "I really miss her." I'm like, he fucked the mood up. He ain't finna get no cheeks.
Wait, he did the right thing, like
He
bringing up
did.
his wife.
Fuck that though. With the world's ending. Like,
So the what you think the world is ending? So you about to cheat? Like you about to try to get with the
the
woman
world.
that's in the house and her husband is there?
It don't even. I mean, she was questioning it. Both we both. It's the so we so she's still trying to make sure the vibes is okay. So she gotta test it out. She gotta see. So at this point, like it has never been a movie where the guy that sleep with you try to kill you, right? That's never happened.
Yes. Every like so many movies where that has happened. What are you talking
Okay,
about?
you're right.
You just sit there and be like, maybe I shouldn't, but then you do, and then they become obsessed, and then it makes it worse when you give them a second round. It's just
Second
like, yeah.
round. So obviously you liked it too. If you gave him a second one, hello.
But normally they don't know how crazy the person is. Like, how you killing somebody off of one round of sex? Like, that's wild. But there's movies out there that's like it. Check out our Fatale episode. We made sure to review that as well. Streaming on Tubi. But Jason, like when you saw Julia's dancing skills, I'm assuming and I'm hoping she does not really dance like this. I just want her to just be joking. Cause she was
I feel like that was the vibes. I don't think that was acting. I think that was the vibes. Like, what do you
really
expect?
bad.
What do you expect her to do?
I mean, Uma Thurman was getting down in Pulp Fiction.
Was she?
Julia Stiles was getting down in Save the Last Dance. She got into Juilliard.
Their review coming soon. Yeah, their review is coming soon. We gonna
And she
break
brought
that.
in a chair.
We
You know
break it
you
down.
fire when you bring in furniture in your dance routine.
I mean,
JR, am I right?
Chris Brown never brought a piece of furniture in his dance
That's because
routines.
he never survived long enough to have a second one.
Actually, he did. On the Take You Down video, he got a big piece of furniture and it moves the entire
Oh,
video.
Stomp the Yard, his ass got stomped in the first 10 minutes. RIP.
He did. Y'all was upset. The
Who's
women.
y'all?
I mean, oh, my bad.
You still had Columbus Short.
I care about Columbus
That's like
Short.
Columbus Short was popping back then. When he was on that
That was it.
lawnmower.
That was his first movie.
It doesn't matter. He looked good in that. I would have been like Megan too. Like, oh, my man on the yard, that's fine, but this man over here, woof, he's so angry though. So leave that alone. Can't deal with anger. But so I'm glad this scene did not escalate to anything to where on the affair level. I'm really glad we didn't get that because that would have just been like, that would have killed the vibes. But also when Ruth and Clay are smoking, Clay pretty much tells Ruth that he saw the lady in the street, and then they get flamingos in the pool. So now that we know the deers had no type of value, did the flamingos have any kind of value? Because you're sitting here thinking maybe the animals are telling us something. I don't think they was telling you anything. What is the animals telling you? Cyber attack is happening. Like
the animal. I feel like the animals. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they were responding to shit that was going on in the back. I truly don't know.
During that scene, I was Googling, I can't remember what did I put in the search bar. I think I put would a blackout affect animals or something? And there was some article about how their migration patterns would be affected. So they would be going to places that you would least expect them. I can't remember what the name of the article was, but it did make sense. I just wished I bookmarked it so I could pull it
right.
up, easy reference. But yeah, because it wasn't really explained like how flamingos just got there. You know, it's not like they're native to the local area, so they had to come from distance and they just randomly ended up in the pool. It's just like, wait, the math ain't math in here. What's going on?
Yeah, I thought that was really strange. And then we got another alarm going off, loud, affecting everybody. So the family goes to sleep. They're all pretty much in the same bed, and you have the next morning. Rose is gone. She bounces. She's like, look, I gotta go find friends. Kids.
I love that story she told though.
The story she told was very deep. And it's one of the things to where the Lord can give you all the things that you need, but if you don't utilize those tools, then those tools are useless.
I mean, I feel like that's what people do though. Like,
absolutely.
And I don't even mean in a spiritual level, like even going to God. You can be just as jazz. Somebody can be needing something. You could have offered them something. They were like, "Nah, this ain't good enough," or "This isn't how I expected it to come to me."
Yeah,
right.
It was like, but it came to you. I mean, what difference does it make? You know what I'm saying? Like you're expecting it in a certain way. But I love, like I said, I love that story. And for people that haven't seen it, you just listen to us say it. It was a story of a guy who was stranded on an island. And there was a radio warning, there was a boat warning, and then there was somebody on the helicopter that could have saved the person, but they chose not to. They drowned, made it to heaven. They was mad at God, and he was like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And it was like, "Well, nigga, I sent you 3 pieces of communication, and you denied it all. What the fuck else you want me to do? Talk to Satan." No, I'm just playing. That ain't what happened, but Yeah.
No, definitely talk to Satan because because it's kind of one of those things where it's just like I can lead you to the water, but I can't make you drink. Like I gave you everything that you needed, but you were so close-minded because you thought there was only one solution to a problem when there were multiple, but you didn't think those ones that you
Problem.
that was outside of your thought process was solutions.
Come on, somebody.
And so it's one of the things to where it's just like pay attention to the things and the signs that are given to you. They're there to help you move forward. But if you just like, nah, that ain't good enough, you're gonna realize like your bum ass, now you ain't got nothing. So I thought that was that story that she told was very deep. So the next morning, Archie, he definitely ain't pulling Ruth. Not with them gums. Homeboy's just pulling the teeth out his mouth like JR. Like when he was just kept pulling them out, and I thought it was so funny.
Listen, the moment I see, okay, one, all right, that's wild. Two, okay, I'm definitely not pulling any more out because something is messed up with my gums. It's like, yo, mom, dad, listen, my gums they're in dire straits right now. Help me out, you know? And like he just kept going and going and going. It's like, hold on, why are you trying to pull your teeth out? Look, something's obviously wrong. You're sick. You know, you don't need to pull any more of your teeth to establish that. You know, you're gonna be, I don't know, maybe you want to like test out like mashed food or something. It's like, I don't get rid of all my teeth. I want all mashed pureed food.
I think it's just one of them situations where like you ever had like a bruise or a scratch? Like some people mess with them, some people don't. But like some people like, let me just take it off and see. Let me take this scab off and it's bleeding to me. Like, wait, nigga, you should have just not touched it. Or you should have just, left it alone. Um, but yeah.
I thought it was funny how Amanda reacted. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Here come Clay. What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm sitting here like, if I was a parent, I would have done the same thing. I'm like, yo, you threw up already on the floor of this house we're renting.
He spit first. He spit on these people.
Oh,
he just
threw
spit.
Up. He threw up later.
Yeah, he just spit in that floor.
Blood on the floor. Why you ain't go to the bathroom?
That's what I said. That's I was like, bro, that was kind of. I thought he was dead at first though.
It should have been. He would have been if he was a different complexion. Because it'd be like, I know you ain't fucking this flow, and the owners are downstairs. Yo, Archie, clean that shit up. But now he's missing half his teeth. But he seemed real cool about it. He seemed real calm about it when they were trying to figure out like what they need to do next. Because at this point, Amanda mentions that she saw somebody at the store getting items, which is Kevin Bacon's character. Like he was preparing, who was the architect of the house. So they were just like, let's go try to see maybe he has some kind of medicine or medication because now Archie is throwing up. Alongside Rose is missing. So the fellas pretty much go try to find the architect. I think it was architect or Kevin Bacon's character to try to see if he has any kind of information or medical items that can help Archie because he's throwing up his shit. And Ruth is just like, Dad, don't leave me. Set your timer to an hour. I'll be back. She was like, no, you're not going to be back. And it's another example of the ladies kind of going directly to a negative scenario when the men are really calm of like, everything's going to be okay. And so now you have them splitting up and you have Ruth and Amanda together looking for Rose. And so, JR, when they're pretty much out going into the woods to try to find Rose, how did you feel about that? Because we got another nice monologue from Amanda, and we got a more of a peek of Amanda's character. So how'd you feel about this interaction with the ladies in that shack?
I saw it as kind of almost like a bonding moment, you know, like she's explaining why she is the way that she is and she doesn't like it. She wishes that she were different, but just stuff she's experienced in life has led her to have this cold, off-put demeanor where she tries to distance herself from people that, she doesn't know. So that's why she, came across as such an unapproachable person. And it really peeled back the layers of her character and gave some depth to her. And I appreciated that. And it seemed like they were somewhat cordial with each other. You know, they weren't catty or anything like that. They seemed to have like, I wouldn't say become friends, but at least they were on much better terms than say, 45 minutes before. So it was really nice. It was a really it was one of the few like wholesome, pure moments. It's like, oh, okay, that explains a lot and made you kind of sympathize because up to this point, I was, I'll be honest, I was sick of Amanda. I just thought, oh
Right.
my, like you're just being super negative. You're racist. You almost, try to sleep with a married man. You're married. That didn't stop you. Um, yeah, just a lot of things that she was
You're
doing
a
that.
whore.
But yeah, basically a lot of things that she was doing that didn't endear her to me, and I'm sure many viewers. But then she had that moment where she was really vulnerable and she opened up, and it made her feel like a human, not just like this cold, heartless machine. So I thought that was a nice touch, and a really touching bonding moment between the two characters.
Yeah,
For sure.
they needed that. Amazing scene. Like I said, with Julia, and baby girl. Pull this up. Ooh, she would have a name that I'm gonna have to look up. I think Ruth. We're gonna use Ruth today. With Ruth and Julia, when she in that scene, I think she held her own. She showed she got the acting chops. Because Julia, I mean, Julia been doing it for so long. So her doing it, it was just like, all right, cool. This is Julia can do this. She can be comedic. She can be a comedian. She can give the serious. That Ruth, her character, I mean, I feel like I think she does more serious roles. I haven't seen her in a silly, I haven't seen her be silly. Like I seen her be silly in a moment, but like more herself, for more her roles are more serious. So just seeing her go back and go do the run line, I could imagine how it felt like even when they began like the table read, like I'm doing this with Julia fucking Roberts. Like that's wild.
Yeah. And I would say like their chemistry in each scene was great.
It
It didn't
was.
feel awkward. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel generic at all. It felt very organic. And so the way that Julia was reacting to a lot of things that Ruth was saying, I was just like, oh, they're about to fight, which is what their characters kind of seemed like they were going to do anyway. So I think they definitely sold that. And so I thought it was really dope. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but like when I was looking at it, you have a movie that has a strong black woman, and then you have a strong white woman. But in this dialogue scene, it's kind of like Julia is kind of being labeled that angry white woman in this scene because Ruth asked her, she was like, why are you like this? Why do you feel like you need to be like this? And that's when Julia goes into her monologue. And so I thought it was cool. And then with Ruth saying, like, I agree, I don't normally agree with you, but I agree with everything that you just said. And so I was just like, you see a lot of character develop between these two ladies. And then we have the men trying to go help out Archie, and they come across obviously Kevin Bacon's character. And so I thought this scene was kind of interesting. I thought somebody was going to catch a bullet. Jason, did you think that? Did you think that was going to probably unfold when they
That's when I
came
knew
on
Quentin
his?
Tarantino wasn't in this because everybody would have got shot. Boom, boom, boom. We just been a whole bunch of
This is
just.
2 hours in, and we still ain't heard niggas. So I would have definitely known Quentin Tarantino was not in this movie. So
But yeah, nah, this was, and I understood his stance as well. Like when it comes to that type of moment, like all this made me think of The Walking Dead. Like this is the beginning of how that worked. Like how that the beginning of it. Like as it's leading up to the chaos, to the bullshit. And like I'm the same exact way. Like I gotta do what I gotta do to protect mine in this house. I do feel like he was a bit harsh, but I gotta have that person. Like who's gonna be that guy? So that was dope to see the flip of the guys. Cause in the entire time, every man we seen was patient, calm, cool. And you got Kevin, Carrick, he was like, fuck y'all, fuck this, fuck everything. Get the fuck off my porch. I didn't get y'all ass on. I'm taking care of my kids. He wasn't even gonna step outside. Like I'm the fuck who out there, nigga? What the fuck about any of that shit? But yeah, no, I love that. Love the tension. In between the two scenes because the music, we got the music going up. and like what happens as because all this shit is happening simultaneously. The dads, then of course the women back at the house, and you see Julia steps in for Ruth in that situation. But then, like you said, you got the one with these two niggas holding guns to each other, and you finally see Ethan step up. Like I don't think he was ever tested in one of them moments, but
He seemed like he could have been tested, but it seems like he got to the point to where something made him like, okay, let me speak up louder. He was real calm in a lot of other scenes, but like right here, guns is out.
yeah, it was one of them. I'm not that guy. I'm not stepping in between niggas with guns because niggas is niggas. But I like how he did it because it's one of those moments where you got to make sure it's relatable. So he tied it back like just like you said, you have to do what's right for this situation, and that's why I'm here. Let's chill, let's relax. Like I said, the actors that they pick, this movie only works with great actors.
Yeah.
It doesn't work without them. And within this, we got a master class from the young to the old. That's how it should be done. How you work a room, an empty room with just it's too like so many just the cameras and it's just you and somebody else. Like how do you do that? So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And so we see that they were able to get the medication that they needed. And obviously, Kevin Bacon's character was able to get the money that he could possibly
A
use.
barter system, supposedly.
Right. And so he's a conspiracy theorist in this of who it could be. And so they're obviously sharing information. And as you can see through this movie at the beginning, people weren't sharing information with others. And so as it was going, you start to see them sharing information with each other, how it could benefit one another to where it's like, okay, at the end of the day, we are all we got because we have a government that is not helping us right now because they are malfunctioning as all of this is happening. And so I thought the whole breakdown in the car with GH and obviously Archie and Clay, like that shit had me shook a little. Especially being that I know the Obamas had a hand in this movie. Like I'm just sitting here thinking like, bro, that's like really scary. And so when Kevin Bacon's character was just like, throughout the years, we've made a lot of enemies. What if those enemies teamed up? And I think that's why our country more focuses on being the top of the fence than anything else.
I
Because if
agree.
you are a power, ain't nobody really gonna fuck with you. And so that's why we put a majority of our funding of everything is in our defense system, and we sell weapons to other countries and things like that. But we ain't got to go down that road because we just a small little podcast over here
Fuck
now.
no, fuck that. We going there because I watched two movies this week where all this is important. Godzilla. It's a key a key point on American military in there that leads to why Godzilla comes. That's one. And then two, I finally watched Inglorious Bastards.
Hey,
Also about how Americans infiltrated France with this crew to take down Hitler and them. So that's a big thing. And how many and I'm just and that this is the Japanese, you know, how they got affected by stuff that we did. The French, you know, how the French, how they got affected by stuff that we the Germans, how they got affected by stuff. So yeah, we've made enemies for a long time. A long time. So something like this, yeah, I definitely was like, bruh, what you niggas trying to tell us with this movie? And if they
Look,
do it, and it's something like this, I'm just saying, Jazz, you say it all the time that we are not together. And for the most part, as a people, we are not. And certain things, like I feel like we come together for certain shit, bullshit. We don't come together for like in time of need, like in certain things. But you have, like you see, I mean, you see things. But I'm on social media, so certain stuff I do see. So you got things like Keith Lee. Like I throw him out because I was just watching him right before I got on here. I see you got him where he's helping small businesses. Like he's bringing that different things. But like I don't know. I like when I see stuff like that, and I do. All the time I see people like, "Why are you showing this?" But like, we need to. We see everything else. Why not highlight what the fuck you doing? Why not highlight you giving somebody a house, or you giving somebody a car, you giving somebody some lunch today. That's why oftentimes I try to be that light to people in the way that I can. So people are like, why are you always talking to people? Because the way I've been feeling, the way I've been feeling, a person coming to me, there's no telling what I may do in that situation, or how I may feel in that situation. Whether how you never know what a person may be feeling. So like, why not in that? Because because at some point I probably needed it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think honestly, in this movie, it kind of, and this is just some certain things that I see. They're like, society puts a lot of division between groups, a lot. This movie took away those divides and it put everybody on the same level playing field. And you needed that person beside you. That white woman needed that black man and that black girl. And that black man, that black girl needed that white woman and all them other motherfuckers. Like, you needed each other to where it wasn't about class. It wasn't about race. It wasn't about none of that. Because when something like this happens, y'all all are in the same boat. So you have to come together. You know what I mean? To where it's just like you have to work together. You have to share that information that will benefit y'all. Because like Ruth said, there are like, you can sit up here and say like, I can't stand being around people. I hate people. But we are all we got. And I thought it was very interesting when you had Amanda say, I know I say I hate people, but I'd give anything to have them back. And I thought that was very interesting for her to say she hates people at the beginning of this movie. And then with everything that happened, she just like, I miss people. You know what I mean? So like just the dialogue in this and the actors, like you said, Jason, made this movie a lot better and made me appreciate it a lot more, because I and you know, JR, I know you had your opinions on it, but hopefully, or maybe like after this review and maybe rewatching it, you kind of see it from a different angle to like, okay, there were some things I didn't catch on my first watch.
Fuck that. Stand
Well,
on
I
your
mean, I
point.
hope he stands on his
Stand
points,
on your point.
but you know, so it's just like stuff like that to where it's just like, well, damn, you know, obviously it didn't end how we want it to end because we're just like, what is the conclusion? But
lies.
But my thing is like, do you really need a conclusion to a movie like this?
No, we don't. So for me, if it becomes a trilogy, that would be dope. Cause I can see it going. I look at it, I do look at it from the purge aspect. So this is where I go back to the purge aspect of it. So we see the beginning of we see the beginning stages, but we also see off in the distance what it looks like in the actual city of New York. So I would like to see what it looks like for the people over there. What are they going through? What does it look like for the people that's over there? Who's doing this shooting? Who's doing the bombing? Is it just shit falling out the sky? Are these just airplanes falling in the city again? Or is it actually people over there in there shooting and XYZ in
So
that?
so that makes me think, if they do a sequel, give us a point of view of people in the city.
That's what I'm saying. You got
I think that would be dope.
Remove Julie and them. Like
you don't
we
even
could
have to.
be. We don't have to. We could be done with them.
Characters.
We could be done with them and just take me to the city. I want to see
That
what
could
the
be
city
fire.
looks like. Like you can. I mean, whether it's the begin, it may be the beginning stages, like what the beginning looked like for them as the collisions and stuff like that happen. Now go into the movie. You don't have to even go back to the beginning of this, but just when the chaos happened
or give us the same, like when it's set, let it be the same time as the characters in this, but they're seeing more. So they're seeing how it is in the city of all the communication going down. You seeing planes fly out the sky, but they're low, but you're not sure where they're crashing. I think that would be dope.
Yeah, I'm with it. But I wanted to hate this movie. I went into it with the hate bug in me.
That's
I tried to
crazy.
go in. I wanted to. Like
I know you did.
I want to be the guy that go
crazy.
into it like, man, this shit was motherfucking ass like y'all told me, but you bitches lied to me. And I love the ending. But I was also the kid at the house watching Friends. So I like, as a kid, how would I want this if I was a kid? What would make me happy? Getting junk. Well, riding off on my bike, going to go get junk, and now I have a plethora of movies that I can watch. But fuck the movies, they got friends.
But let me say this real quick because I know that I've been in the chat that we all used to be in daily. When I said I still have DVDs, niggas joked on me. Niggas tried to bash me. But you know what? When them streaming services down, when that Wi-Fi is down, what the fuck you doing? Because you ain't got no DVDs. You can't stream nothing on Netflix. You can't stream nothing on Max.
Mm-hmm.
You got them DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
What DVD player you got, Jazz? My PS4, nigga. My PS4. To where I can watch Freddy. I can watch Scream. I can watch Girlfriends because fuck Friends. I ain't watching that. I'm watching Girlfriends. I don't have Living Single.
Don't act like that. Don't act
But
like
I'm
that.
just saying. But I basically the moral of the story is you see what happens when like you remove technology, Wi-Fi, all of that, entertainment wise, what you got. When she saw all those DVDs, I laughed. I said, "Oh, checkmate."
Yeah,
I said,
I
checkmate.
looked at when I was like I said, oh, she could have find friends. She could have watched that last episode.
I said, "Fuck
She's
that
gonna
family."
watch. She gonna watch the last episode. You can. I mean, the mom was there. You can. She was screaming her name. She made it to her. But yeah. But that motherfucker
She
said that's the one time that she did. Ruth pissed me off when she left the house. I was cool with Rose the entire time until she left the house. I was like, this motherfucker.
she
And then
saw
she
that
in the
house.
house. Then she hear the people yelling. Don't go check it. But they had told us. But it was almost like poetic because Kevin told them to go to that house. That's the house Kevin told them to go to.
Mm.
That's the house that she said I need to listen to these animals, and she went to it. So everybody, our roads led to that house anyway. So that was dope.
Yeah. But JR, that is the end. And did you hate the ending of this movie?
Yes, because it was just abrupt. It was so out of the blue. Now, I'm not saying that I need when I say a good ending, I mean like an ending that ties up plot threads, not a good ending as in, oh, the characters, they somehow, some way, they survive and things get better and they all live happily ever after. Just, tie up some loose threads. Like, did George's wife survive? Did everyone manage to get to the bunker, or was Rose just left to her own devices? Um, who was living in that shed that Rose and Archie found in the woods because the shed had signs of someone living there, but that was never touched upon. So it was just really weird that they just threw a shed in there and had no explanation as to why it was there, who was living in it, whatever. Yeah, just a couple of things. Whatever happened to that Spanish lady that Clay left at the side of the road, who was behind the attacks? Just, a lot of things that you would have been asking during the movie that they teased answering at some points, but then they left you with nothing. And then at the end, how it just you hear the Friends ending theme, and then the credits start to roll. And I'm watching the credits thinking, oh, there's got to be like something in the middle or maybe something at the end. And no, I just watched 8 minutes of credits with no payoff. Like, this is ass. I was so mad. I
I
was
get
so,
I get it because I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm a hypocrite when it comes to endings. Like I watched Annihilation. I was pissed off at the end of that. I was pissed off at the end of Across the Spider-Verse. But I feel like Across the Spider-Verse, because we already knew a three was coming, I just feel like they could have tied it up a little bit better. In a movie like this, considering the unknown is scary. I think I believe that's where and why, like in certain things, I'm perfectly fine. Like I don't that's why like when me and Jazz we talk about like the horror movies we watch, like I don't need a motive. You just a sick bastard, you want to kill people. I'm okay with that. I don't need to know your motivations. I don't need to know why you began. I don't care. Just go out there, have fun. Gut a motherfucker up if that's what you want to be into. So with this movie here, just not knowing why all these things are happening and these people, kind of like the little tagline you see right there. There's no going back to normal. Like they like who somebody said like We don't have that, but we have each other at this point. So now we have. I feel like what I feel like that was in between Amanda and Ruth when they were in the share. I think they said they were like, we don't have all that, but we got each other now, and that's what our new normal looks like is us as a unit. And she had to accept. And in that situation, we also got to remember Ruth. One thing we didn't mention, or maybe I did. I mean, I may have missed it. Ruth was sad that her mother is dead. So they had to accept a moment that her mom may be dead because she's not in the States. So she was looking for that mother figure and she found it in Amanda in that situation. So Amanda coming to her like her mother or like she was her mama, that was a dope thing as well. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I thought it was good to see their characters coming together at the end of this, especially after all the tension that they pretty much built up through this entire movie. But yeah, we hit our end at this very long earth ending type of film. But we might get a sequel. And JR, if we do get a sequel, would you check it out?
I would check it out. I would
Okay.
check it out. After rewatching it again, soften my stance a little bit, and I would definitely be curious to see how they would continue, especially if it is from the POV of people in the city during the
Right.
time of the attacks.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty dope. Uh, but did y'all have anything else that y'all wanted to add to this episode or to this movie, or anything y'all wanted to touch on?
I personally don't know. I think we went through it all.
Okay. What about you, JR? You thinking? JR's like, I want to say I hated this shit, but I
Now,
didn't.
one thing that was just really, really weird was there was never any explanation about why there was a whole bunch of deer when Ruth and Amanda were looking for Rose, and then the deer just surrounded them. And the thing about deers is like one or two, cute. A whole bunch of them staring into your soul, and then you have that one jacked up one like that looked like he never misses a day at the gym. Just came through the middle and was just like eyeballing Ruth. It was a bit nervy, but yeah, I wish they did kind of throw some breadcrumbs about why the animals were acting strangely during the film. But yeah, besides that, I got nothing.
Yeah, I think I wish the element of the deers would have represented something, but if the creator said, I just threw the motherfuckers in there just because,
Fun, just for giggles.
yeah, that that's kind of unfortunate because they were used a lot. And a lot of the artwork for this movie had a deer in it. So I'm just like, but the deer's not meaning anything. It's kind of like, oh, okay, I guess if that's what we're gonna do. Um, but yeah, I don't have any. Only people's thoughts I have is from Psy. He said he hated the ending, which I can see a lot of people not enjoying this ending to this movie too much. It's like one of those end of the worlds. You're not gonna have a positive ending. You're not gonna have anything wrapped up because I feel like depending on who you speak to, they're gonna see the end of the world differently than somebody else. So
Mhm.
they kind of leave it open ended. But a lot of movies do wrap it up. But I wasn't too mad, but I was just like, damn. I was expecting something that's gonna have me completely pissed off after seeing your review on it, JR. But I was like, I wasn't too mad about it. But our link of thrones. Did we already pretty much discussed our agree to disagree. We was pretty much would we have let them in. So I think we settled that on. So JR, since you are our guest,
Mhm.
who is your link of thrones?
My link of Thrones is Ethan Hawke, and the movie I'm gonna put out there is Assault on Precinct 13.
Never seen that in a minute. I seen that when it came out in theaters. Is Ja Rule in that?
Nah, Lawrence Fishburne.
Okay.
Fishburne.
Okay.
Jason, who was your link of thrones?
Pretty woman
I knew he was
I
gonna
walking down
go.
the
I knew he was.
street.
I
Julia
know
Roberts,
it's
Pretty Woman. Yes, sir.
Should have known. Should have known. I was like, he's gonna choose Bay.
Why
And
wouldn't
so,
I?
right, I was thinking about if I should do a show or not, or a movie. For mine, I'm going to do Kevin Bacon, and I'm gonna do a show. I'm gonna do his show called The Following.
You watched it?
Very, very solid show. It's dealing with cults, and I don't fuck with cults, but like this series was dope.
What's that movie he was in that you told me to watch? It's like in the 2000s. Maybe he was a cop.
Oh no, the movie Death Sentence. It
Death
was
Sentence. Okay.
that. Yeah, I got that on DVD. So if
I
anything
bet
pop off,
I bet you do. And
but
Ja
no,
Rule is in Assault on Prison 13.
Oh yeah, he is. Yeah, yeah, he is. He is. He
I
is.
thought I
Just
thought so. Yeah, I remember I watched it. Um, but yeah, man, leave the world behind. Episode 80. Was it good though? Podcast. We didn't leave y'all behind. We love y'all.
82.
Oh shit, you're right. 82. Sorry, I'm behind. Clearly, episode 82, leave the world behind, man. New year, new goals, new projections. We appreciate JR for coming and chatting with us, sir. Did you have anything that you want to leave with the people? Jim, nuggets, tidbits?
um, no, I
That's
got
a no.
nothing. No, no, I got nothing. I
Like
was,
what?
I was
You
gonna
done been
plug
on
my
here
Twitter and
enough to
stuff.
know. Like JR is thinking. He's like, well,
I was gonna plug my Twitter and stuff, but I'll add nothing of substance to your timeline, nothing thought-provoking or anything. You might catch a joke here and there, but nah, got nothing, That's
okay.
it.
With it, Jazz.
Uh, Happy New Year to everybody. Shout
Mhm.
out to y'all. Excited to see we got some good stuff for y'all coming. You know, collabing with some other podcasts, getting that going. We got a nice selection for y'all this month. It's gonna be
Yeah, I
crazy.
think we got our movies picked for the next 2 months, right? If I'm not
We
mistaken.
do. And we got
Yeah.
our folks who we want to bring on. Sorry if you didn't get the email, but it might be in your spam, so check that out.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that to Jazz. But this is this is the Was It Good Though podcast. I am one of your hosts. I'm Jason.
And I am Jazz.
Go ahead, JR. I know you want to.
Oh, around JR, yeah. They always catch me with that. I should know by now, but always slow to it. My bad. I'm
You
JR.
you can't do that when you're trying to reach to the level of Crystal and Chris. You can't just be like, let me not say my
Yeah, I
name.
gotta
Yeah,
step
you
my game.
can't. Don't double dutch it. Just say it. There we
Go
go.
for it.
There
Just
we
let the
go,
string
man.
hit you in the face if it's too early. It's okay.
Jazz will show you how to recover.
No, I
Episode
won't.
82.
Got nothing for you, player.
Episode 82. Leaving the world behind. Deuces.
Cheers.
Peace.
Happy New Year.
Brr, 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 brr.